anyone who has followed me for about, I don't know, I would say the last year and a half or so, are clearly aware of the disdain that I have for female dating coaches, specifically the ones who coach men. Courtney Ryan, for example, who is a perpetual fence sitter and doesn't offer any advice of value, and tells us that being repulsed by promiscuous women for long-term relationships is a preference. Let's take a look and listen to what I had to say about her. Bad credit who make their payments on time.
Through this, and it negatively impacted their mental. Sadly, when I was in college, I watched a lot of my friends go through this, and it negatively impacted their mental health and also the level of commitment to their future partners. I have never had a one-night stand or been into the hookup culture thing, and watching my friends go through this and how miserable they were was enough for me to know I never, ever, ever wanted to be a part of that, because they're selling you a lie.
Oh boy, here we go. Snowflake. So Miss Ryan says she's never had a one-night stand or was ever into the hookup culture. Now, could she be telling the truth? Sure. Is she telling the truth? I don't know. You decide. Let's just lay out the facts. First, she appears to be the only attractive woman who stayed away from hookup culture and one-night stands because she saw what her friends were going through. I have never met a woman who looks like her, who went to college, who did the opposite of what her college friends were doing. Birds of a feather flock together, as the saying goes, and Miss Ryan would have us believe that even though all her friends were involved in hookup culture on campus, she knew that they were being sold a lie. Even though everything around women these days tells women that sleeping around is okay, she's the one female who is not influenced by her friend or the college campus. She's the one girl who just magically knew that feminism sold women a bad bill of goods, even though every medium on earth was telling her otherwise. Second, she met her husband on Tinder. So let me get this straight. You were on a dating site that facilitates and is the engine of hookup culture looking for a husband, were you? You resisted all the dudes you matched with, didn't sleep with not one of them until you met your husband, did you? Look, I wasn't there, so I don't know, but I do know this. She is either the greatest statistical anomaly of all time, or she's not telling us the whole story. And the empirical data, along with my experiences and stories I've seen and heard, tell me it's likely the latter. And this is the reason why Miss Ryan is not effective. People trust what I say about female nature because I've been through it all. My misadventures with women are well documented. I've been hurt, cheated on, I've been abused, all the rest of that. I was the king of simps, but I was able to come out of it with my freedom in my life, and that is at least 50% luck. But for Courtney to sit here and tell us that she didn't engage in hookup culture, even though she's very attractive and had plenty of opportunities and met her husband on the dating app that is known for hooking up, is suspect. Again, I'm not saying she's lying, but I'm willing to bet there's much more to the story than she's telling us. I've also talked about one Danica Marie. Danica Marie. Oh yeah, we remember her, don't we? I've talked about how she is little more than the female equivalent of Derek Jackson. Take a listen. You know who Danica Marie is? Oh my God. Oh my God. You know what? While I'm on my Danica Marie kick, holy fucking shit. You want to know who Danica Marie is? Danica Marie is the female Derek Jackson. Danica Marie is the female Derek Jackson. Boom. I'm going to tweet that shit out too. Danica Marie, she is the female Derek Jackson, telling you dumb niggas what you want to hear, and you guys buy it hook, line, and sinker. That's all she does. It's Danica Marie that panders to men. She's the one that's got y'all fooled. Oh, Pearl, she panders to men. No, she doesn't. Pearl speaks straight facts. But you dumb niggas are so enchanted with the big titties and the matching ass. Yeah, P-Dub says, but Don, she thick. Exactly. Oh, there's something I don't trust about Pearl and this and that and the third. Oh, for real? Danica Marie is the female Derek Jackson, telling you dumb niggas what you want to hear, flashing tits and ass, and y'all are all in. Just like the dumb niggas you are. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Dude, it all fits. It all fits. Derek Jackson's attractive. Danica Marie is attractive. Derek Jackson panders to black women. Danica Marie panders to black men. If you say anything bad about Derek Jackson, black women come after you. If you say anything bad about Danica Marie, black men come after you. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Pearl panders to men. Dude, Pearl speaks straight fucking facts. Dude. Pearl dunked on Brittany Renner. Pearl, a woman. Nah, but you dumb niggas dumb niggas are always fooled by a fucking ass. If she thick and got a fat ass and says, y'all need to take care of your man. That's all she does. That's all she does. That's all Danica Marie does, y'all. Look, I'm gonna put it on up here. Look, this is your queen. This is y'all's queen, niggas. This is y'all's queen. This is y'all's queen. Danica Marie is the female Derek Jackson. She is the female Derek Jackson. And oh, by the way, Danica Marie is married. Danica Marie is married. Does this look like a married woman to you? Huh? Does this look like a woman who is in a marriage? Number one. Number two, what's she doing in an empty house? What's she doing in an empty house? That's number two. Number three, black male media took the words right out of my mouth. Where is her fucking man? Where's her man? This is a woman who's supposed to be married. This is a woman who is married. She is a wife. But she's out here showing the goods for everybody. Showing the advertising for everybody. Look at this. Look. Does that look like a wife to y'all? Does that look like a wife to y'all? I've also talked about Marty Kinry's, the wing girl, who is a walking contradiction on SOSCast. Grande Americano says, why is there music playing? Because I run a professional podcast to show that I give a shit. Background music is normal for opening monologues. I don't know what it is. About people coming in here. What's up with all the intros? Why is there background music? Guys, I'm not struggle streaming over here. I know you're used to dumb niggas like O'Shea just turning on his phone and talking shit. That's not that kind of podcast, y'all. So if you don't like the professionalism that I show here, no problem. Not gonna hold it against you, but don't complain about it. Anyway, let's take a look and listen to my response about Marty Kinry's marriage. Shall we?
So, I'm the breadwinner in our family.
Oh, boy.
I am definitely an alpha female, but...
There it is. There it is, guys. There it is. I am definitely an alpha female. I am definitely an alpha female. This is unbelievable. Vaughn says, I don't think she expected this. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, she did not expect this at all. Adam is really quizzing her, man.
What I love about my husband is that he can still be a strong, masculine gentleman.
No, he can't. If you're the breadwinner, you don't have any reason to be feminine around him. You just don't.
Takes the leads, like in his domains, right?
Oh, she qualified it. In his domains, he takes the lead. But when it comes to the wing girl method, I'm in charge.
He wants to take the lead. But when I need him most is when I'm not in control of myself right? Emotionally in some way where
You're a woman.
I need support from a man. Sorry, I'm just like talking through this as I'm saying it to you.
Yes, we understand that. She literally just admitted, I'm making this up on the fly. That's what she's doing. She finally just said it. She finally just said it. I'm sorry, I'm just talking through this. Yeah, you've never given this. No one has ever asked her these questions before. No one's ever asked her these questions before.
Because it's hard to.
And you can tell that, dude, I wish they put the camera on Adam, because it looks like he's smiling his ass off like, wow. Like he's watching her squirm.
Verbalize. But what I love.
Ryan Hawk says, in other words, he takes the lead unless I say otherwise. That's exactly right. Alvin Sam, $5 says, wow, imagine if Donovan said he's an alpha male.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Is that my man can look at me and say, I know that you're having a hard time right now, and I want to hear everything about it.
Oh my God.
Hold me for a second.
Oh my God.
Like, and that's very masculine. That's still masculine to do.
No, Marty, it's not. It's not masculine. It is not masculine for a man to reward a woman's emotional shenanigans with a shoulder to cry on. No. No. If you're in your feelings emotionally and all this extra shit, and dude, I've done this with Devin plenty of times. I'm like, yo, check this out. Watch your fucking tone. I don't care what fucking time of the month it is. I said, if you got a grievance, if you got a problem, that's fine. But you're going to go upstairs, you're going to fucking check that attitude. And when you can behave, then you can come downstairs and talk to me about it. But I am not about to grab you and hold you after you're running off at the mouth like some crazy person. No. Masculine men don't tolerate emotional shenanigans. We don't tolerate that shit. I don't. And then, of course, she later on sort of exposed herself as being the one to run the relationship. No one else has quizzed her on these details before. Nobody else. So I've spoken briefly also about I've spoken briefly about other female dating coaches, but these are the three who have amassed the biggest following as far as I know, right? I'm sure that there are others, but I can only speak on those that I'm aware of. And by the way, Pearl is not a dating coach. She is simply a content creator. People say she's a dating coach because she's not qualified to be a dating coach, and that's why they're using that to disqualify her. Anyway, there is another female dating coach making the rounds, and this time it is Sarah Dawn Moore. I reacted to her appearance on Fresh and Fit yesterday, so be sure to go and check that one out. So before I react to her appearance on SOSCast, I'm gonna break down a couple of her short videos. The first one is entitled, "Who is Sarah Dawn and why am I doing this?" As in, why I'm coaching men how to date. Let's take a look at this.
Hi everyone, welcome.
Oops. Oh boy, of course she's freaking loud as hell.
Back to my channel and allow me to introduce myself. Oftentimes I get a lot of people wanting to know why I'm doing what I'm doing and what got me here. Well, I'm glad you asked. A little childhood trauma, emotional abuse, daddy issues, infidelity, and some really terrible relationships. Can you relate?
So a little trauma, blah, 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 blah. So right out of the gate, she is minimizing her issues by making light of them, as if it's no big deal. Nothing too out of the ordinary. A little childhood drama, a little emotional abuse, daddy issues, infidelity, and some really terrible relationship. This chick has all the red flags. But the rub is that she assumes that we assume that the infidelity part has nothing to do with her. In other words, she implies that her significant others were unfaithful, but never her. Why else do you think she put really terrible relationships right after infidelity and used the word "and" to conjoin them as one issue? Guys, this is by design. She didn't do this on accident. She absolutely, positively, 314% worded this way on purpose. Sarah wants us to think that she was cheated on and not the other way around. But what she doesn't realize is that she gave herself away from the jump. Daddy issues and childhood drama equals getting passed around on the regular. And as we all know, most modern women's relationships overlap with one another. And if they overlap with one another, what does that mean there is? That means there's what class? Infidelity. I'm willing to bet that Miss Moore's dating past is no different based on the fact that she's 38 years old, never married, and currently single.
Why else would you be on YouTube? So let's get into it, shall we? I was 10 years old when I woke up to a normal day at school. My brothers and I were almost ready to leave when my mom received a very concerning phone call that said, you need to get down to the gym that my father worked out at. So we all piled into our Nissan Sentra, and on the way we encountered the ambulance, fire trucks. Well, you can imagine the whole scene. I couldn't really see what was happening, and they wouldn't let us into the gym, but I could see a silhouette of my father laying on the ground. We arrived at the hospital, and about an hour after we got there, they had all put us into one of those sterile rooms where we awaited the doctor. He came in, and we knew it wasn't going to be good by the look on his face. He said, we tried to resuscitate your father, but we were unsuccessful.
Oh boy.
Before he finished talking, my brothers broke down in a way I have never heard them before. And the sounds that came from that room, I will never forget to this day. My dad...
So Sarah lost her father at the age of 10. 10 years old, guys. Just think about that. She's a few short years away from puberty and being a teenager when her hormones are raging and her decision-making is severely compromised because her father wasn't there to deter her from making the kinds of decisions that ruins a woman's life before she even hits womanhood. Now, this isn't Sarah's fault. It's not. It's not her fault her father died. And I genuinely do feel bad that she lost her father at the age of 10. That sucks for anyone to have to go through, boy or girl. But that said, her daddy issues are not our fault, nor is it our problem. Yes, it sucks that her father died, but the world doesn't owe her an apology, an explanation, or sympathy. Least of all men who are considering her for a long-term relationship. Guys, I say this all the time, pay attention. Women don't give a shit why you're broke. They care that you're broke. Doesn't matter if you're on disability because you lost your leg in Afghanistan because you saved your buddy from igniting an IUD. Doesn't matter. You are still broke and disabled. Women don't care why you're fat. They care that you're fat. Doesn't matter if you don't have a thyroid, were born with diabetes, or have a legitimate genetic disorder that does not allow you to lose weight healthily. You're out of shape. And that is all that matters as far as women are concerned. Now, as cold-blooded as that is, this is the same mentality you must have when dealing with women out here. They don't care about your problems, guys. They don't care why you succeeded or failed in life. They only care whether or not you are a success or a failure. Okay, so Sarah Dawn Moore has daddy issues because her pops passed away when she was 10. All right, my empathy goes out to you. But that doesn't mean that I have to deal with your childhood trauma and daddy issues just to make the relationship somewhat tolerable. Nope. I'm not going to deal with a woman who either A, has overcome her daddy issues, which is hard to do, or B, doesn't have daddy issues at all.
He was a lawyer, a land developer, the first to graduate college in his family, and was damn near valedictorian at ASU Law School. He died at 52 years old from a catastrophic cardiac event. Now, at 10 years old, I had no idea how this particular event was going to affect me, but it changed the course of my life forever. Having conversations with kids my age seemed pointless and futile. They say you grow up fast when something like this happens. Oh yeah, she's mature, she's an old soul. No, I just experienced the most traumatic thing a child could go through. And what did I have in common with kids my age? It was time for me to be an adult. Kids aren't supposed to experience this type of grief, right? My dad was young and didn't necessarily prepare for such an event. No life insurance policy with $1 million in it, and things got real.
Whoa. This chick is talking about the traumatic event of losing her father, and she still finds a way to blame him for the state of their family after his death. Yeah, my dad passed away. That was bad, but damn it, he could have left us something. Typical.
For my mom and brothers, very fast. We quickly went on government assistance, and my mom worked a job in hospitality for $5.25 an hour just so that she could get health insurance for her 5 kids. Now, there are some things that happened that probably shouldn't have. My mom and dad were divorced, and quite frankly, they didn't
Wait, her mom and dad were divorced? Well, she could have led with this little nugget in the beginning. Here she was, indirectly causing us to think that she grew up in a 2-parent household before her father was taken from her. But now the truth comes out. Her folks had allegedly split up. Her folks had allegedly already split up when he had the heart attack.
have the best relationship. So there were times that, well, she didn't have the nicest things to say about him. And what that did to me, inherently, was I grew up with the belief that men weren't reliable.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. She didn't have the nicest things to say about him, you say? There's another red flag, guys. Another little girl growing up with a mother who berated and emasculated her father and eventually divorced him. Do you want to know what this tells us, guys? This tells us that she would have had daddy issues even if her father hadn't passed. Her mother did such a thorough job in making him feel useless that Sarah, as a child, never really respected her father in the first place. She talks about how sad she was when he died, and I'm sure she was. But she'd have had daddy issues with or without his death. Her mother had already set her up for failure, and her father dying of a heart attack, which, by the way, was probably aided by her mother's constant badgering, nagging and berating him, only exacerbated the situation.
That they weren't to be trusted, and subconsciously that they were just going to abandon me. And what do those beliefs do, little girl?
Hang on a second. Let's go back.
Insurance for her 5 kids. No, there are some things that happened that probably shouldn't have. My mom and dad were divorced, and quite frankly, they didn't have the best relationship. So there were times that, well, she didn't have the nicest things to say about him. And what that did to me, inherently, was I grew up with the belief that men weren't reliable, that they weren't to be trusted, and subconsciously that they were just going to abandon me.
Nah, Sarah. I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. Nope. Sorry. I don't buy that you didn't trust men because you thought they were going to abandon you. Your father died. He doesn't have control over that. He didn't abandon you. He didn't die on purpose. He didn't say, you know what? When Sarah turns 10 o'clock, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to croak. No. He was working out at the gym and his heart gave out. Your father didn't abandon you, Sarah. He died. There is a huge difference. So Sarah's trying to convince us here that if her father were alive today, that she'd have respect for and trust men. She wants us to believe that if her father had never died, that she would be trusting and respectful of men. This is false. Her mother made damn sure that she didn't trust or respect men, and that's why you don't trust or respect men, Sarah. Not because your father died, no. Because outside of self-deletion, we don't choose when we die. So now Sarah's indirectly blaming her father for dying? You see what I mean, guys? Even when it comes to their own fathers, women don't give a shit about why things are the way they are. They only care that they are the way they are. My dad isn't here and it's his fault. Yes, he died of a heart attack, but it's still his fault because he abandoned me. Shit. No wonder he didn't leave y'all anything. Your mother browbeat him to death. I mean, if you're going to be angry at anybody, Sarah, it should be your mother. Because maybe if she had been a better wife, your father might have been a little bit more inclined to take out a life insurance policy to make sure y'all would be all right in the event of a tragedy. Jesus Christ.
What do those beliefs do, little girl? It makes her unbelievably untrustworthy of men and causes her to go after men in romantic settings that would recreate this trauma loop over and over again. Fast forward to my 20s and I became the boss bitch that didn't have to rely on a man to support herself, climb the corporate ladder, and make enough money to never be poor again. When you grow up and your diet consists of stroganoff and hormel chili, there's something that happens to you. It set off a spark in me and my brothers to pursue.
Stroganoff and hormel chili, I think, is code for toxicity or something like that.
Excellence and become the hardest working fools on the planet. Little did I know that was just a false sense of security, and workaholism became my drug because I didn't want to feel my feelings. But let's move on. Oh, and I learned to be the funny girl as a coping mechanism as well for my trauma. I paid my therapist about $5,000 for that little nugget.
Stop the cap.
No, you didn't. You did not pay your therapist $5,000 for that little nugget. Because if you did, your therapist is guilty of highway robbery. I mean, are you kidding me with this? And look. I'm not trying to be mean-spirited here. I'm really not, guys. But Sarah's not exactly the most attractive woman. You guys can clearly see that she's probably 20 to maybe 30 pounds overweight. Doesn't make her a bad person. Fat people aren't bad people, but facts are facts. She became the funny girl because she was likely the chubby kid who wasn't the most attractive girl. That's what happens. And when you are deficient in one area, you become more proficient in others. Take me, for example. I'm slightly below average looking, but my gift of gab and experience with handling women makes me a little more attractive to women. Sarah developed a sense of humor to make up for her lack of physical attractiveness, and she didn't need me or anyone else to tell her that, least of all paying her $5,000. Ay, ay, ay.
Even though I had a focused career, confident social life, everything on the outside seemed just fine. My romantic pursuits weren't as picture perfect. Frankly, my relationships were a nightmare. Those of you who follow, Jordan Peterson or any type of psychology channels might understand that girls without fathers tend to choose men with very dark triad traits, aka the bad boys. But I'm not so good, but you don't know why kind of guy. Addicts, cheaters, men that I was convinced that I could change. We attracted each other like moths to a flame. For a decade or more, I was choosing all the wrong types of people.
Oh!
It wasn't until I hit rock bottom before I...
For a decade or more, she says. So here she is admitting, that she, all through her 20s, by the bad boys, she smashed drug dealers, she smashed drug addicts, alcoholics, the abusive guys. She smashed them all. And she did this when her sexual market value was at its peak, which is typical. She also said a decade or more, which means much more than a decade. I mean, why else would she be single at 38, right?
I realized that my decisions and subconscious programming were leading me to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. It wasn't until I went to rehab, took me about 5 years to say that out loud, after developing a very strong addiction to benzodiazepines.
Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Did you guys hear what this woman just said? Did you guys hear what this woman just said? She got out of rehab for benzos. The hits just keep on coming with this chick. They really, really do. Her mom was disrespectful and a bitch to her dad. Mom divorces dad, then dad dies, then she sport fucks her way through her 20s and 30s, and now she had an addiction to benzos. And the funny thing is, guys, you would never know all this by looking at her. She's well-spoken, she seems to speak with common sense, seems reasonably put together, right? Seems to speak with some common sense, and really, other than her weight, she looks reasonably put together. This is why I tell you guys to observe when vetting women, rather than relying on them to be honest with you when you ask questions. Asking questions to a woman you're vetting, that's the lazy man's approach. Are you a traditional woman? I sure am. Okay. Can you cook? I sure can. Have you ever had an addiction? Nope, I'm clean as a whistle. Men who have dealt with Sarah are very fortunate that she's admitting this out loud on YouTube. Otherwise, another unsuspecting man would likely wander into her clutches and be taken for a ride. 99.9% of women you meet will not be as forthcoming as Miss Moore was here. But let's not let this little nugget get away. She was addicted to benzos, which is an anti-anxiety drug, which proves once again that getting all through your late teens and 20s and 30s leads to depression. Guys, we don't talk out of our asses here. We don't. What we teach here is based on empirical data, anecdotes, and stories and situations that we are privy to.
Because my life was literally unraveling, and I was just trying to live day to day, sometimes moment to moment, suffering from crippling anxiety, fearing being found out that it was all just smoke and mirrors. I'd gotten engaged to the wrong person who was struggling with his own demons, and we were just one big unhappy family. My life blew up, and it was in that moment that I said, no more. I'm gonna figure this out, or I will die trying.
No woman who's getting a random dick really ever hits rock bottom. But for her to sit here and say, well, I will figure this out or I will die trying, Sarah, you don't have to be that dramatic. That did not happen. Stop it.
It wasn't them, it was me that didn't understand myself at a deep level and was terrified of intimacy with a man because I had no concept of what a healthy relationship looked like. Oftentimes, relationships don't just come naturally for most people, especially when you don't have a model to follow as a young child. And they sure as shit aren't teaching this at school. So it started as a quest to understand men at a deep level is what landed me here today.
On a deep level. I wonder what her definition of a deep level is. Does this mean cervix-crushing sex or mentally?
And it's the reason I'm making this video. I remember going to the internet and scouring for information about them. Books, podcasts, anything that I could find, and it was like digging in the trash for scraps. There's so many books about how to catch and keep a man, how to lure him in by withholding sex, and how to make him pursue you, but all of it is complete bullshit. It didn't tell me
Really?
what values in a woman, what men want at a deep subconscious level, what they're looking for long term. And most of the dating advice doesn't work because it's surface level advice, even about women. It's a complete shit show. That's when I decided to take matters into my own hands. I spent 2 years single so I could heal myself.
I spent 2 years single so I could heal myself. Guys, I swear to God. I swear to God. You can't make this shit up. I spent 2 years single so that I could heal myself. All my womanese students. What does I haven't been in a relationship in 2 years means? It means I've been fucking random dudes for 2 years, but they don't count. I spent 2 years working on and healing myself is code for I slept around indiscriminately for 2 years. Stop it. We all know that you didn't spend 2 years celibate. You didn't spend 2 years being Mother Teresa. Nope. You were still getting butt fucked in the back of, whoever's cars on a regular basis. Didn't matter.
I read and researched and went through my own transformation and came out on the other side ready to take on the dating world. What I found out
Yet you're still single.
though is that people are still really hurting and lost on both sides.
No, what she found was that men don't take her seriously outside of a one-night stand. Here's another super slut tell. Any woman who has a charm with the first letter of their first name on their necklace, they are super hoes. They're not narcissists. They're just super hoes. They think so highly of themselves. They think that being confident is so attractive to men. They think, Jesus, I just put the letter at? No, No, Roadblock 85 with the $5 super chat says, gents, we're getting womanies live on these shows. This is gold. Shit. Shout out to Manosphere Highlights Daily.
At some point, we all have to forgive our childhoods, move on, and grow from it. I forgave my mother, accepted that things were out of my control, and now as a functioning adult, it was time for me to take ownership of my own life. I began my own journey to understand and uncover how all this plays out, especially in our society today where marriage is practically a failure. Divorce is rampant, and our culture is pretty broken when it comes to romance. The dynamics between men and women have morphed and changed since our parents' generation, for better or for worse.
No shit. Again, this is what female dating coaches do. Female dating coaches have parroted our talking points. And they're packaging these talking points as some original thought. Ladies, you've been lied to. No shit. No shit, you've been lied to. But this woman is acting like she's breaking news here.
It's become more obvious why so many people are struggling to find love in the present era. Men are being fed some red pill idea of masculinity, and women are following like these purple-haired feminists into the land of I hate men abyss. After spending that time alone.
Yeah, there it is. You see? A little sneak tip shot at the red pill community. Even Zooer says, how did she qualify as a relationship coach? She just calls herself one.
I started seeing that the anger and animosity that so many people feel towards their partners and their exes all made sense to me. It's just unresolved pain. I too at one point thought, what the heck?
It's not just unresolved pain, Sarah. It's that bitches ain't shit. That's the problem. You said it yourself, Toots. You said I was the problem. It was me.
Hell, all these men are jerks, and my patterns were creating a narrative that was being reinforced.
There you go. Another dude, she continues to self-snitch.
You keep seeing the same thing over and over again, you start to believe it. And I was losing hope, but it all comes down to personal accountability. Through my own journey and multiple heartbreaking relationships, I learned that our attachment styles, trauma from the past, and our perceptions of how we see the world can greatly impact how we choose our romantic partners. I didn't set out to be this person, but sometimes in life, things come to you. I've blown up on every social media channel because men are hurting, and they're shocked.
No, sweetheart. You've blown up on every social media channel because you are simply regurgitating the talking points of the manosphere. And any woman who regurgitates the talking points of the manosphere automatically blow up. Ask Pearl. Ask Pearl. She's at over 1 million. She's at 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube. She'll probably be at 2 million before the end of the year. Marnie Kinreys. Sarah Dawn. Who else is the dude? Danica Marie. Who's the other one? All of these. Dude. Courtney Ryan. Courtney Ryan. She puts out just a basic video. She's got 500,000 views on it because she is a woman who is taking red pill talking points.
To see a woman who just wants to understand them. Men write me daily asking for advice because they just want to feel understood, and they want to understand women too. Women are hurt.
Dude,
as well. And I know deep down they are longing for a strong connection with a man that they just don't know how to get it. And they think ignoring his text messages for 5 hours will increase his attraction, says modern dating advice. So here I am. With each video, I hope to help men take personal accountability for their love life and to try and understand why we do the things we do. Maybe men and women are driving the same car, but are just looking out through a different rearview mirror.
No. We're not driving the same car. Sweet cheeks. We're not buying the same. We're not driving the same car. We're driving different vehicles. Women are riding tricycles. We're flying an F-16 or an F-22 Raptor. Could not be more different. Bill Quinton with the $5 super chat says, "We need you back on these podcasts to expose these 304s in 4K ASAP." That will be happening later this month.
We see things completely differently, process differently.
No.
We have evolved through time and evolution. There are some things that will never change about our nature. Your relationship.
Again, these are talking points that we have been saying in this community for years. And again, she's packaging this like she is the inventor of this.
It doesn't have to be based in trauma bonding or insecure attachment or being attracted to someone because they fulfill some wound that you haven't healed. Look, I've been through it, and it's much better to be single.
No, baby. You haven't been through it. You've been ran through.
Than miserable within your relationship. It's also never too late to transform your relationship. Be the change that you wish to create. Bring more peace.
This is bullshit.
Bitch
babble. Bitch babble.
I'll do my best to bring you the highest caliber of content based not on bias, but on research, different educational journals, and from books I've read.
There we go. Research and educational journals. Sorry. Nope. Research and educational journals can say whatever you want them to say. This is why I very rarely, if ever, this is why I very rarely, if ever, use studies and statistics. I just don't do it.
Have helped to change my life. I hope you come with an open heart and an open mind and offer me grace. So sometimes I might say things that will offend. I'm not perfect, but I will try and push you to think and to feel. I've dedicated my life to growth, and I will grow with you all as well. If you disagree, then challenge me. But all I ask is that you are respectful and considerate of where I've come from.
Oh, isn't that cute? So let's watch another. Let's quickly watch another video. Why I don't sleep around and the lies of feminism. Why she doesn't sleep around.
We're gonna start calling this like couch time with Sarah because I am sensing a pattern here. But I actually wanted to follow up on one of my last videos about my marital status, and I wanted to expand a bit on some things I
bet you did.
said because I don't want to misrepresent myself. And sometimes during a stream of conscience, just like talking and realizing that, oops, I left a few things out. So I've had a pretty good relationship with God my whole life.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh my God, dude. I swear to God, man. I swear to God. Dude, I swear these hoes always find Jesus. I've had a great relationship with God. No, you haven't. If you did, you'd be married. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, not again.
Here is me singing at church a couple of years ago. See the wind inside my sails, the anchor in the waves. Oh, weak is my song. This is also
There are some things that you can't unsee or unhear. Dre Raven with the $2 super chat says, look at her body language, cash grab. Maybe. Roadblock 85 with the $5 super chat says, rule number 24 of the 49 laws of Sharpe. The more she tries to convince you of something, the more likely the opposite is true. Ay, 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 ay. And look, now she's showing us the proof that she's a God-fearing woman. She's singing in church. She's a part of the praise team. That doesn't prove anything. Dude, some of the world's biggest hoes are God-fearing. Give me a break.
a picture of me getting baptized cute little girl, my favorite priest.
Yeah.
So my faith is only half of the story of why I don't sleep around and why I protect my body.
Stop the cap.
Here we go. Why you don't sleep around and why you protect your body. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now look, does she sleep around? I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe she is celibate. Maybe she is celibate. But I do know this. When they asked her on Fresh and Fit, when's the last time you had sex? She says, I don't want to share that information. Eventually she did, and she capped her ass off when she said, well, my last relationship 6 months ago. By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet! I swear to God. And you know what? Guys, we have nobody to blame but ourselves for this. We have nobody to blame but ourselves, guys. Men are on autopilot with believing what a woman says. They take what every woman says at face value. That's on us. That's why these women blatantly and obviously lie to us with a straight face. Because she thinks that she can get away with it. And who can blame her? She has for 38 years. Why not another year?
So this whole idea that women can sleep around, unfortunately, in my opinion, I think it is a typically a very wounded woman.
Oh, really?
And I know this because I was one of them. Now, I never slept around, but I got into relationships very
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. This bitch, did this bitch really? Listen to what, oh my God, they always do this. They always do this. Oh, please no, please no.
Priest.
Don't give a shit.
So this whole idea that women can sleep around, unfortunately, in my opinion, I think it is a typically a very wounded woman. And I know
So you're not a wounded woman, even though you had daddy issues?
this because I was one of them. Now, I never slept around, but I...
Oh, she caught herself. She caught herself. She says women who sleep around are wounded women. Then she does the math. Oh, wait a minute. I was a wounded woman. I didn't sleep around. Watch how she backtracks. Watch how quickly she backtracks.
So this whole idea that women can sleep around, unfortunately, in my opinion, I think it is a typically a very wounded woman.
Watch her pause.
And I know this because I was one of them. Now, I never slept around, but I got into relationships very early on with men that were very toxic. And
There it is. I never slept around. Yes, you did. Of course you did. And guess what? Situationships are also sexual. Friends with benefits are sexual. One-night stands are sexual. This woman is what I used to call the boyfriend slut. I used to call her the boyfriend slut. Every other week, she's in a relationship with a new guy. And she calls him her boyfriend so that she can then say on the back end, I didn't sleep around. No. If you've had 6 boyfriends in the last month, sweetie, use a hoe. Sorry. Sorry. And no one here buys that she doesn't sleep, or that she doesn't and didn't sleep around. Daddy issues. Bitch of a mother. Her father died. You became the boss bitch, the boss babe. Your environment, the country you live in, the hemisphere, encourages you to sleep around. So you're the one exception to the rule. Fuck out of here, man.
And I'm sure some of you can relate that you've also been in toxic situations with women too. You wake up and you're in this terrible situation going, how did I get here and how did this happen? So what I came to
Easily. I didn't check her behavior. That's what happened.
understand is that children who come from trauma, which is a lot of us, and from parents that neglected them, let's say they had a parent who was an addict, a parent who died, or who just experienced emotional neglect, abuse, etc., they tend to have a much higher chance
That's etc.
of addiction later on in life. It's a coping mechanism. They get outside validation from work, gambling, sex, food, relationships, social media. No one has a perfect life. And if you think they are, typically they're hiding something. No.
Oh, really? Like you? I'm this well put together. I'm single and ready to mingle and blah, 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 blah. Are you self-snitching here?
Why I don't sleep around and why I'm very careful with my choices in partnership is not because I'm a Bible thumper or I have high unrealistic standards or I'm making a man work for it, although I love the Lord. The reason is because
Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
the chemicals that get released during sex and when you meet someone that you're attracted to are the same chemicals that are released during the beginning of an addiction process.
No.
It is my personal belief, after volunteering thousands of hours with addicts and children that come from trauma,
she volunteered. What a great person you are.
that we are just walking around trying to get hits from our partners. That's also a reason why people cheat, because the drug that they're getting with their original partner has worn off and they need to get that hit from someone else.
That's real. but she's also talking about herself, as you guys can tell by the expression on her face.
Cultivating a relationship for me, it needs to start with friendship, attraction, and values, because those chemicals will blind you to the light. And the fact that you're dating someone or marrying someone that you have no business being in a relationship with. So for me, any man that gives me a hard time for wanting to take things slow, I pretty much cut off as quickly as possible. Because people who want to jump into bed early, they might have short-term mating goals, but they might also not have proper boundaries with themselves or with others. It can be purely physical, but a lot of times it's just disassociation and codependency. Men can have mommy issues as well. And I think it's
interesting. Daddy issues only occur when the father is not in the home. Mommy issues can only occur when the mother is in the home. There's no kid who is raised without his mother that has mommy issues. Doesn't work that way. There's no little girl who is raised by her father without her mother who has daddy issues. Nope. Mommy issues come when the mom is present. Daddy issues come when the father is absent.
Much harder to truly see someone and share emotional intimacy versus physical intimacy. Once you open Pandora's box with all this information and the stuff that I learned, you can't really unsee it, unfortunately. It's very difficult for me to watch clips from Andrew Tate because I think about the girl that was once me. Women who have unresolved trauma with their fathers will fall for this type of love because they're just hoping that man will love them unconditionally, and they'll do anything for that love. It makes me very sad when I think about it because it's one of the reasons why I can't support the OnlyFans.
There it is. There it is. Do you see that? It makes me really sad because I can't know. It makes you sad because you lived it. I swear to God, you let women talk long enough, eventually they tell on themselves.
Of the world, because I know the psychology behind it. Luckily, I appreciate that I had 4 brothers that were always looking out for me. Without them, I most likely would have ended up as a stripper. And they still look out for me.
Unbelievable. I most likely would have been a stripper. Which means what, class? She was probably really close to it. Oh my God.
If I'm not really feeling super confident about a man's actions, because that's what brothers and that's what daddies do for their little girls. They protect them. And that's why a lot of these girls have daddy issues. Smart men know this and exploit this. It's all over the psychology literature. It's like plain as day. So for me, my relationship to God.
So again, she's the only woman on earth. She's the only woman on earth who has daddy issues but doesn't sleep around.
Has always been strong, and it will continue to be in the center of my life. I stand strong on my principles, and it's not about religion. It's about a relationship to something outside of yourself, something much larger than your self-centeredness.
That's fair. That's fair.
I feel that the world has lost that. So hopefully, once again, there's no judgment in this. I respect everyone's privacy and everyone's religion and respect your choice. I protect my body. I protect my mind. I protect the substances that come in and come out of my body. I'm just gonna let that one die.
Yeah, there you go. See, I'm just gonna let that one die.
There's a reason why the divorce rates are so high. There's a reason why people are struggling with relationships. And I think that reason, for me, is a lot of unhealed childhood trauma. It's a lot of people that just haven't really understood and done the work. So that's what I'm trying to do on this channel. I'm trying to trigger you all in the best way possible.
Sweetheart, you have not triggered us. You are simply warning us.
Because when you feel that trigger and when you feel that little tinge of pain, whether it's shame or guilt or sadness or anger or any type of emotion, that is the first indication that there might be something wrong. That's when you get to decide, do you want to shift? This emotion is here because I'm feeling something. You know, I'm either feeling wronged or I'm feeling like my childhood was a freaking mess and I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah, this is all just bitch babble. That's all this, that's literally all this is. That is literally all this is. So as you guys can plainly see, this woman absolutely, positively is not qualified to be a dating coach for men. Sorry. We tell guys this all the time. Do not take relationship advice from a woman. And we are going to see exactly why. We are about to see exactly why on the SOSCast. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're back in a few.
Understanding women and increasing your dating success starts with Donovan Sharpe's massive collection of award-winning books and courses. Get off to a fast start and jumpstart your masculine renaissance with the 49 Laws of Sharpe. The 49 Laws of Sharpe is the perfect quick start guide for any man new to this community looking for the answers that keep them up at night after a bad experience with a woman. So many men ask themselves, why did she cheat? How could I not see this coming? Why did I miss the signs? And how can I avoid this in the future? The 49 Laws of Sharpe will answer these questions and many more. This will give you a rock-solid foundation upon which to build, develop, and cultivate your newfound identity, and put you miles ahead of your competition. Most men have never had access to this valuable information, let alone understand and apply it. But the 49 Laws of Sharpe will give you an unfair advantage over men and women. This treasure trove of valuable knowledge is available in audio, video, ebook, and paperback. Next, supplement your newly acquired foundational knowledge, supercharge your dating life with Donovan's 25-hour course, How to Master the Game. How to Master the Game will teach you the ins and outs of the player life, overcoming approach anxiety, identifying women who you want to approach, text game, first date principles and logistics, avoiding the friend zone, and so much more will be covered extensively. Also included are the bonus podcasts that will cover how to dress, Tinder game, and much more. Put simply, How to Master the Game will turn you into a stone-cold assassin with the ladies. Available in video and audio format. If you're not the kind of guy who wants to live the bachelor life, or you've had your fill of the player life and are looking for something a little more fulfilling, How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up is a must. Donovan's 5-part, 7-hour audio course will show you step-by-step how to find, cultivate, and sustain a solid, healthy relationship. Everything from selecting the right woman, to coaching and correction, to what to do between the sheets. How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up will guide you through the entire process of building the kind of woman you want and need. The strategies and techniques in this course are exactly what Donovan does in his own relationship to this day. And he is living proof that women can be beneficial to men provided they have the right instruction. And finally, the ultimate weapon all men are looking for in terms of being able to read and understand women, Donovan Sharpe's revolutionary, one-of-a-kind course that has been called the Cheat Code. Womanese. Womanese is the first and only course of its kind that gives men the raw and honest truth about what women really mean when they communicate verbally. Womanese translates female communication with shocking accuracy and has changed the dating lives and relationships of men the world over. So many men have avoided disaster because of the preciseness and sheer volume of material in this course, which contains over 600 translations. How cool would it be to be able to see through a woman's BS and act accordingly right then and there, rather than getting blindsided when it's too late? What would it be like to have the ability to read a woman like a book based only on what she says? These abilities will be at your disposal with Womanese. Women won't be able to lie to you, cheat on you, deceive you, or take advantage of you. The time and money you'll save pays for the course almost immediately. Womanese is available in video, audio, ebook, and paperback format, and can be purchased one volume at a time or all at once. Men in his community often state that the best investment a man can make is in himself. Donovan's extensive educational materials will take your life to the next level. And the only place you can get this life-changing knowledge is tsracademy.com. Link in description.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 986th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of toxic masculinity, misogyny, and small dick energy. It is Wednesday, July the 5th of 2023. It is good to have you in today. Shout out to everybody joining. Chip Osorio with the $20 super chat says, how is this lady able to credibly get men as clients when she isn't in/hasn't been in a long-term successful relationship with a man? Weird. Listen, the reason why women get clients like this is because men don't understand that women are never going to tell them what is in their best interest. That's one thing that dating and relationship, that's one thing that dating and relationship coaches, get all the 4th of July stuff out of here. That's one thing that female dating and relationship coaches never ever tell you. And they probably don't even realize that they're doing it. They're not giving you advice that actually benefits you. No, it gives you advice that benefits them. This is why marriage counseling never, ever works. It's ridiculous. Ken Rose with a $5 super chat. Appreciate that very, very much. Appreciate that very, very much. All right, guys. Look, let's not waste any time. Let's not waste any time. Let us get to the breakdown of SOSCast. Let us increase the rate of speed, and we will be good to go. And look, guys, look. Just to let you guys know right out of the jump, I know a lot of you guys aren't exactly. I know you guys don't exactly. A lot of you guys don't exactly like Adam Sosnick. That's fine. I am respectfully requesting that you guys don't talk shit about him. Adam is a very good friend of mine, and though we don't agree on everything, I still respect him, and he respects me. So it's only fair that I get my audience to show him the same respect. Listen, I don't think he interacts with the chat, but let's be adults here. I know. And listen, I can sit here and have a problem with Adam's hosting style all I want to. Dude, the guy just passed me in subs. He's going to be at 200,000 subs by the end of this month. He's doing something right. So let's all, try to give him the benefit of the doubt here and just kind of take the content for what it is. Let's go.
But the show must go on, so I'm happy to be here. This is the sexiest financial podcast in the world. Today we're going to be discussing a lot of financial topics, relationship topics, what's going on in the world. Nat, what do we do on this show? I'll let you do this one.
Well, welcome
God.
everybody. It's your favorite place, the only place where we want to see you get paid, laid, and do it your way.
Okay, that's right. Paid, later, do it your way.
Yes.
Nat's in the house. We got a special panel today. Guys, full disclosure, I'm not feeling my best, so these guys right here are going to over-deliver.
Yeah, you can tell that Adam is definitely not.
Usually I'm very talkative, rambunctious, but today these guys are going to crush it. They're no stranger to cameras. They're all very famous in their own right. So today they're going to step up and deliver. So we got Tyler McBroom in the house, CPA, tax strategist to the stars.
What's going on?
Friends with Tony Robbins, partners with Tony Robbins, massive Instagram following. Moved recently from California to Jupiter. He's in the house. He's, are you better looking?
Good move. Moving from California to Jupiter, Florida? Hell yeah.
Or are you rich? Which one is it? 'Cause
Roadblock 85 says, I think it's Natalia they don't like. No, listen. No, bruh. No. Look, you can cook Natalia. I don't give a fuck about her. But I do like Adam. So yeah, I know that Natalia is even less popular than Adam. Adam's my friend, Natalia is not. That's the difference.
you're a good-looking dude. You're also rich.
Like to straddle the line.
Which one is it? Jesus Christ, this guy. So how long you been in Florida now?
About 2 years.
Okay. Well, welcome to Florida.
Best move we've ever made.
That's right. You don't
Yep.
miss California at all?
Not one bit.
Hell no. Of course not.
Catalina Loft's here. The amazing, the incredible, the gorgeous, the talented, the politically motivated, the woman who wishes that she was born in the 70s or raised in the 70s.
Yeah, I do,
I saw something like that. You were on a car today.
Yeah.
Former GOP nominee for U.S. Congress, out of Illinois, 60 miles out of Chicago.
Yeah.
Founder of the Defense of Freedom PAC.
GOP, the grand old party, conservative Republican.
An advisor to Begin Health Kids. What else?
I'm really good at cooking macaroni and cheese.
She's really good at cooking.
I love that.
That possibly might be the best thing on
Is she married?
your resume. Forget about being a member of Congress. She's a member of the Macaroni and Cheese fan club. Amazing. To your right, to my left, we got Sarah Dawn Moore, relationship coach out of San Diego, YouTuber. She's helping you guys out there navigate the modern dating scene. It's a mess out there these days.
It's a mess out there.
It's a mess out there.
No.
We're gonna help some of these guys out there.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
Oh my God, it's a mess out there. To your right, my left, we got Natalie in the house, graduate of.
Kevin, I'm giving you a warning here, man. I'm giving you a warning. I asked you. I'm going to put you in timeout this one last time. Okay? I've warned you once. I've warned you twice. The next time you insult Adam in any way, shape, or form, you're gone.
Of SUNY, not Sunny.
That's right.
New York, Potsdam, now living in Fort Lauderdale, marketing consultant, blonde bombshell.
Thank you, Adam.
There you go. There you go. Anything else you'd like to add to that?
Shout out TD Commercial Group.
Okay, I don't know who that is, but
Yeah, one thing that Adam does that I definitely do not do is I don't gas up chicks. The only chick I gas up is Devin because, well, she's earned it.
shout out
My
to you,
employer.
random people. All right, I don't know who that is. Ayana Rodriguez. She's an entrepreneur. She's the founder of Itavi. Itavi, in my pronunciation ain't what it used to be these days. It's I actually saw you on Instagram. It's a childcare company that specializes in what? De-stressing vacations.
So very good, and I know you're under the weather, so that was
Yes,
great for
thank you.
remembering all
Doing my
that.
best.
So we do partner with luxury hotels and offering childcare to guests as they're traveling, because
Oh.
want to take their kids out to dinner when you're paying an arm and a leg to have relaxing time.
Oh.
I'm trying to make some kids.
That is actually not a bad business idea. Necessity is the mother of invention, but damn, that's actually a really good, that's a good business idea. Good for her.
We have Sarah here. Can help you.
Out here. Hook me up. All right, so real quick, before we get started.
Are you offering your sperm?
What's that?
Are you offering your sperm?
Wow, I think we have a taker.
We should just do a live auction here.
Guys, freeze your sperm out there. I'm actually looking into that these days.
I don't know.
All right, real quick,
Yeah.
all right, before we get into we're really going down the rabbit hole here for a second. Nat's in the house.
Yeah. Hello, I'm in the
I
house.
renamed her Nagtalia. She's always telling me, do this, do this, do this. Drink your water.
Right?
Feel your best.
I'm trying to help you.
I'm trying to appreciate what you're doing.
Nag you
I
to
got
success.
vitamin C on lock these days. I'm like,
You're welcome.
thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nat.
Nag you way to your health back.
That's right.
Yes.
Before we meet.
Oh, God. Look, man. Look. Sosnick is my guy. He is my guy. He's my guy. And he told me, he called me up after I did the last show and says, hey, look, just want to clear the air. I don't shit where I eat, right? There's nothing going on between me and Natalia, et cetera, et cetera. And I said, okay, hey, listen, he's my friend. If that's what he tells me, I'm inclined to believe him. I'm inclined to give him the benefit of the doubt. But interactions like this don't help. Like, interactions like this don't help, man. Totally Not Pablo said, Adam's mom? Nah, Like, if she's always, look. Look, I believe Adam, but interactions like this make it very hard for others to take that seriously. I'm just saying.
Meet our guests and get more familiar with them. What would you like the audience to know?
Well, thank you all for tuning in on our Thursday SOSCast. We appreciate each and every one of you guys today. I definitely recommend you guys to be in the chat today. Give us some great questions. We have a sick lineup. I think this is one of the best lineup we have when it comes to business experience and diversity when it comes to our panel. So I'm super excited. Sauce is a little under the weather, but I think we can pull it together as a team. And Sauce, take it away.
The show must go on,
It must
guys.
go on.
I missed the PPD podcast this morning. PPD's like, listen, dude, take your time, rest up.
Drink your water.
Struggling out here, guys. I'm struggling out here, but I feel okay. I'm just,
And you look good.
Thank you.
You know.
All right, I'm freezing my sperm, so
Wait a minute. Who says you look good? Is this girl hitting on him? Hold up.
Podcast this morning. PPD's like, listen, dude, take your time, rest up.
Drink your water.
Struggling out here, guys. I'm struggling out here, but I feel okay. I'm just,
And you look good.
Thank you.
You know.
Oh, that's the other woman. Okay.
I'm freezing my sperm, so
I don't know.
That part. So I can watch your kids. That's
guys.
perfect. Exactly.
Let's see. I saw this. Anyway, somebody says Natalia is not as hot as she thinks she is. Yes, I would agree with that.
I'm trying to make some babies out here. Anyway, what we usually ask our guests before we get started on all the topics that we're going to get into today is we want to know your relationship status and how you make your money. So go ahead. You're helping kids, you're helping families de-stress on vacations. I assume you got some kids.
I got quite a few. I have 3
All right,
of
go
them.
ahead, girl.
So I got 3, starting with 21 almost.
You got a 21-year-old?
Yes,
Holy
yes,
shit.
yes. I'm 50.
Hey! Dawn DeMarco for Miss Entrepreneur. She's looking good. She's got kids out the house. See, this is what I like. I got no problem. I have no problem. I don't have a problem with women being entrepreneurs. I really don't. Just wait till the kids are out of the house, right? Raise your family, and then you can go be a boss bitch.
Wow.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
You said he looks
I
I
just
just
had
had
the
the
biggest
biggest
You're
50th birthday
50?
party. We blew it out at the W Hotel. My husband had fireworks. It was
Wow.
amazing.
You know, they say black don't crack, brown don't frown.
I mean,
Hold the fucking phone. This bitch is 50.
I'm 50. So
Wow.
I,
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
You said he looks
I just had the biggest
You're
50th birthday
50?
party. We blew it out at the W.
This chick is 50? Yo, she looks amazing. She looks dude, she is stunning. What's her name? Oh God, what the hell was her name? Oh boy, her name was Jamila. It was the first time I was on SOSCast with Devin. Right? She looked great. She was a goddamn grandma. Wow.
Hotel. My husband had fireworks. It was
Wow.
Whoa!
Black don't
Look
crack, brown
at
don't frown.
I mean-
I cannot believe this woman is 50 years old.
So you gotta go on.
Wow.
So
All
yeah,
right.
so married, 3 kids. Itavi Kids, which is a brainchild that I founded a bunch of years back.
Wow.
And What was the other question? How
I
did
don't know.
I
I'm lost in the sauce right now. Yeah. So you're married, 3 kids, 21. What are the ages?
13 and 8.
Wow. Okay.
The spread keeps me on my toes. That's what keeps me young, because I'm always trying to figure out what is next. But so that, Itavi Kids, which I launched right before COVID, interestingly enough, November of 2019. And so we partner with childcare, with luxury hotels, and we have the Dolphins as one of our partners, and a lot of different high-end condo associations.
The Dolphins as one of their clients? You know why, right? Because the Dolphins probably got all their baby mamas.
And we really resolve for childcare and a whole different unique approach to the market, and working on really cracking a nut that's tremendously hard to crack. Trust.
Good for you.
Trust.
And you said you're in Coconut Grove?
That's where I live.
So she's
yes.
local. Happy 50th birthday. Holy shit.
Thank you.
I don't know what's going on here. But
Yeah, I take my
didn't see that one
vitamins.
coming.
See?
Yeah, give me some vitamin C. I want to look like you. All right, Natalie, what's your story?
In terms of?
Relationship status, and then your, how you make
she's
your
got to
money.
be single.
Well, single.
Okay.
Of course
Oh, the
you
Paul's
are.
right there.
Yeah.
She's young and beautiful. All young and beautiful women are single, man.
Single's a Pringle. But I don't really understand that saying, because if you think about it, a Pringle comes in like a huge stack of like 200 chips, and who only really eats one chip at a time? You take like a handful.
What is this, a comedy set right now? What's happening right now? What is happening right now?
It's the ADHD
What's
in my
the deal
brain.
with Pringles these days?
Sweetheart, single as a Pringle is only a thing because it rhymes. That's it.
That's your relationship status. You just give a comedy Pringle joke. Okay, go ahead.
I don't make my money that way, though.
Yeah, clearly.
No, I'm just freelance right now. 3
Okay.
days into the new gig. Before that, unemployed for 2 months, got laid off. I was working pharmaceutical marketing for rare diseases in corporate America.
All right, that's not funny at all.
No.
Okay. All right, well, welcome to the show. How
I wonder what she does now.
long did you live? You were born and raised in New York, or what area?
Yeah, upstate.
Okay,
Mhm,
cool.
Potsdam.
Upstate. Was it Potsdam?
Potsdam,
Gotcha,
yeah.
and you're in Fort Lauderdale now.
Yeah.
Yeah, people, for those of you guys who are unaware of this, when people say they're from New York, most people assume that they're from New York City. That's why if they're not from New York City, they say upstate New York. If they're from Monticello, Poughkeepsie, Chester, Albany, that area, that's when they say upstate New York.
Sarah.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Look at this elegant lady out here. She's going to help you gentlemen out there improve your dating game out there. What's your relationship status? I assume you're in a relationship.
I'm single, but very much so dating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, we can go.
Wait a minute. Hold up a second. Hold up.
No.
Okay. All right, well, welcome to the show. How long did you live? You were born and raised in New York, or what area?
Yeah, upstate.
Okay,
Mhm,
cool.
Potsdam.
Upstate. Was it Potsdam?
Potsdam,
Gotcha,
yeah.
and you're in Fort Lauderdale now.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Look at this elegant lady out here. She's going to help you gentlemen out there improve your dating game out there. What's your
That's
relationship
right.
status? I assume you're in a relationship.
I'm single, but very much so dating.
okay.
Yeah, well, we can go into that.
I am single, but very much so dating. I am single, but very much so dating. Didn't she say the last time she had sex? Didn't she say that the last time she had sex, she it was 6 months ago? Interesting.
Story later on.
Yeah, we will. We're going to get right into this thing. Okay.
Ram Martin says, "Wow, Donovan, what you know about Poughkeepsie, New York?" Yeah, dude, I lived in Brooklyn. I lived in Brooklyn for 6 months with my buddies, and yeah, he had family up in Poughkeepsie. The Fit Comedian with the $5 super chat says, "Black don't crack, white don't wither." Negative. White absolutely does wither.
Your relationship coach is single.
Yes, but I talk a lot about my experience and what I found out and
You're a relationship coach, but you're single. Get her, Adam.
what I've learned from my childhood. So if you guys have any trauma in the house, I'd love to help you out with that.
Why are you looking at Carolina? She has no trauma. She has no drama. She's
I'm a
doing
little
great.
traumatized. But yeah, I really try and help people understand kind of how they get there and how they got to where they are and why they choose the people that they choose, and how to navigate being in a healthy relationship.
Okay.
And how can you, again, guys, I want you to understand, this is a woman who is 38 years old, who is single, but she calls herself a relationship coach. Guys, why would you take relationship advice from me if I were still in my player phase, right? If I'm still in my player phase, I've got no business advising men on how to run a relationship, because as a player, you're not in a relationship, right? No, I started to transition when it became clear that, hey, looks like Devin and I might actually have a chance. The reason why you guys listen to what I say is that you see the results. You see that my girl is fit, feminine, friendly, and I assume faithful. Right? You see that she is a benefit to my life. You see that she maintains her attractiveness. You guys see that she is ride or die. She assists me in everything. That's why you guys know this is why you trust what I tell you, because you see the proof every day. Not hiding my girlfriend, at least not anymore. Right? Now that I know, hey, you know what? We've got a pretty good shot at making this thing work long term. You guys listen to me because you see the results. Why in the world would what Sarah Dawn Moore is, what she is she is a financial advisor who is broke. That's what she is. She's a financial advisor who is broke. She advises people on finances, but is broke. Do you guys see the irony in that? Right? You guys see the irony in that? Then there was, okay, she's also a fitness instructor or a fitness guru who is out of shape. Why in the world would you take diet and fitness advice from someone who is in Sarah Dawn Moore's shape? But you are comfortable with taking relationship advice with a woman who's not in a relationship? Do you guys understand the irony there? People call me a fraud all the time, but it's not because I don't have the relationship that I have. They just don't like me. That's it. Right? I bashed in a few people's faces, been in the handcuffs a few times, so Donovan's a fraud.
All right.
You ready for that?
Yeah,
I feel like I
go.
need to hire Sarah after this. No, I am not married. Pretty fairly single. And how?
Situationship. She's young and beautiful, pretty fairly single, which means there's one guy she's smashing that she really likes, but then she just dates around. You can't make this shit up. The fit comedian with the $5 super chat says, I was trolling because she said she was 50. Okay, I got you.
I make my money. Not insider trading like most politicians do.
Shout out to Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, definitely not that way. My sister and I have a startup in the kids' healthcare space. We help kids poop and are disrupting the mural act, taking on big pharma. And also...
Did she say that they help kids poop? Wait, did she really say that? Hold up, man. Oh, I like his jacket. I like this dude's jacket a lot. Damn, that jacket is fucking clean. I guess if you're partners with Tony Robbins, I guess that's how it is.
Not insider trading like most politicians do.
Shout out to Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, definitely not that way. My sister and I have a startup in the kids' healthcare space. We help kids poop and are disrupting the mural acts, taking on big pharma. And also am currently still involved in politics here and there, helping out other candidates, a lot of veteran organizations, a lot of different health initiatives and wellness initiatives, and hopefully getting back in the arena sometime soon.
So for those of us that don't know, you were on PBD podcast a year ago. You were running for Congress in the state of Illinois.
Yes.
District of what district was it?
The 11th district.
And that what cities does it encompass?
Naperville, Woodstock, Crystal Lake. It was a pretty big district, but we will not be in Illinois anymore, just given the climate out there. Sorry, love Illinois, born and raised there, but it's just too blue at this point, and I would love to build my life in a different state that's a little bit more friendly to conservative Republicans.
Wow.
So.
What are the leading candidates right now?
To be determined.
Oh,
yeah.
Hang on tight, guys.
Depends on my husband, you know.
That's true.
Who the hell is trying to call me?
I'm just totally kidding.
Well, that's why Sarah's here. And then,
Uh-oh! The Roadblock 85 with the $5 super chat says, Donovan, Sarah Dawn Moore white women don't call themselves auntie. Oh boy. Those are facts. Those are facts. Here's another reason why we know she fucks niggas. She's a 38-year-old white woman in America. You kidding me? As a 38-year-old single white woman in America, white dudes are not taking you seriously. Neither are niggas, but they still smash. So yes, I will give her that distinction.
Tyler,
yes.
I guarantee you're married. Guy like you.
Oh, yeah. Married 11 years, almost 11 years. 11 years in September. We got 2 kids, a 9-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old boy, almost 6. We just got back from 2.5 weeks in Key West. They went snorkeling. It was awesome. We had a great family trip.
And how old are you?
37.
37?
Yeah.
Dude,
good for him.
I've been following you on Instagram
thank you.
for quite some time. And keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'm not currying favor with you because I need help with my taxes whatsoever.
Nice, stupid.
But you're doing your thing. Anyway, Nat,
Yes.
you're going to be managing the chat.
Yes, I'll be here in the chat. So give us some good chats, give us some good questions. And I forgot to say, if you haven't liked the video, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Because as Sauce likes to say, he's on the mood, but your mom's a hoe if you don't.
Yeah. If you watch the video and you're not liking the video and you're just watching these beautiful, amazing people out here and you're not subscribing to the channel, tell them what their mom is, Nat.
She's a hoe.
Your mom's a hoe. Yeah,
Your mom's a hoe.
I'm so afraid to say that, but
It's
that's
just
just
not
what it
nice.
is. Anyway, here's some of the topics we're going to be discussing today.
It's not nice, but you can attack MLD, right? Got it.
Stay tuned because it's going to get juicy towards the end. I guarantee that. So you hate your job, Wall Street Journal article. They talk about rage applying is not the answer. We'll get into that. How much you want your man to make a year. Top 10 most expensive metro areas for renters. We're going to get into some of these cities. We've discussed 7 cities where $250 grand a year equals nothing, is worth nothing. We're going to discuss some of the comments that our friend Andrew Tate made about loyalty when you're locked up in bars. Mary J. Blige, Real Love, great singer. She's speaking about real life these days because she's paying an absurd amount regarding alimony. You know Mary J. Blige. You've got some videos about how millionaires hide their money, and you expose them for a little bit. We'll play that. We'll discuss what is a slut, the difference between a man and a woman. Sorry about that. I mean, that's
here we go.
Here in this arena. And the mindset behind a 35-year-old single woman, what she's looking for in a man. By the way, you're 50, you're
24,
38, 30, 37. And Nat, you're still somehow 21 5 years later. Unbelievable.
Oh, great. I'm the oldest person in this room.
You look phenomenal. I love frown, don't frown.
Dude, she looks great.
So my father's
She
Puerto
does.
Rican, and my mother's black, so that makes me Boricua, right?
You're Boricua.
Oh! Oh my God. This is the first Boniqua I have ever seen that actually has some sense. Have y'all ever seen a Boniqua who actually had some sense? I mean, I have now, but goddamn, that's a first for me. Shout out to her.
That's right. Representing.
Perfect. So, look, let's just start off with a very light topic. The worst job you ever had, how much you hate your job. Here's an article that I actually saw in the Wall Street Journal. Pull this up real quick, Nat.
Yep.
And it's Wall Street Journal. That's the only place I actually get my news these days. It's the only place you can really rely on not being too biased. It says you're rage applying for jobs and recruiters are onto you. You hate your job. This is what this article. Can you scroll up a little bit to the top of the article? Keep going. No, that's it. That's it. All right. Anyway, they talked about hating your job. So job market's kind of weird these days. COVID, unemployment was all-time high. Now that unemployment, I think, is at, less than 4% these days. Pretty decent. But a lot of people are basically maneuvering where they want in their life. So just so people understand where you're at, what you've done, worst job you've ever had, and your favorite job you've ever had. Let's just discuss
interesting.
That. Okay, Tyler, go first. Worst job you've had. You're a CPA.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am a CPA.
You've been doing that for how long?
About 12 years.
Okay.
So I think worst job I ever had was when I sold appliances for Sears for about 2 weeks. And I wanted to get sales experience. I was a valet at the time, and I was living in Huntington Beach, and so I was at a valet at a restaurant on the ocean. So I literally got to exercise and on the beach for went and got cars. But I said I want to go get a skill that I was going to learn something that would apply later in my life. So my roommate said, hey, I think I can get you a job at Sears. And
moves. The new book coming out is Choose Your Enemies Wisely, right? It's going to be a massive book. I think Penguin Publishing is putting it out. So this is just me out of curiosity. If you could debate one person in Congress today, choose your enemy.
All right, never mind. All right, there we go.
You guys are working with Harvey Weinstein out here, but is it actually...
Oh my God, yeah, Donnie Draco says, Roadblock 85 says, Donovan's favorite Boniqua is Jenny. Oh my God. Yes, Jenny from the block.
Common for attractive women to actually be harassed in the workplace? What are your thoughts?
I would say yes.
Really?
Yeah, but with a caveat that...
Wait, what did she say?
None of you guys are working with Harvey Weinstein out here, but is it actually common for attractive women to actually be harassed in the workplace? What are your thoughts?
I would say yes.
Really?
Yeah. But with a caveat that it depends on the woman's comfort level because harassment is subjective. So, for example,
here we go.
You were sending me explicit.
Harassment is subjective. That is the very basis of the hashtag #MeToo movement. If you feel harassed, you must have been harassed.
Messages, I guess that's a clear delineation of sexual harassment. But my brother actually had an instance where he was pulled into an HR situation, and he had just put his hand on the back of his assistant and said, can you tell them that I need 5 more minutes, to go tell the new clients, just
you gotta be fucking
innocent,
right?
Like,
unbelievable. So I think it really just depends on what you deem sexual harassment, and I feel for guys sometimes because how do you know where that line is? I don't know. That's subjective, but it can be common, and it depends on the industry too. Like wine industry is very, very well known for everyone's sleeping with everyone.
Yeah, I mean that's what alcohol and wine does.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, it was kind of I'm cutting a rug. I'm new to the industry. I need to learn the sales process, and it taught me lots of life lessons. Yeah. But as a woman,
look at this. Isn't this funny? So she was. Oh my God, this woman is just. She continues to give herself away, guys. So she worked in the wine and liquor industry, where commingling of employees is regular and rampant, and she was in that field. Learned a lot of life lessons. Yeah, I'm sure you did. Again, relationship expert.
You also have to take responsibility for presenting yourself in a certain manner, I think, and making sure that you...
I don't like that she uses that upspeak all the time. It's the upspeak and the vocal fry for me, right? And I think somebody said that a little earlier. Maybe it was on Rumble, but dude, come on.
Limit the opportunities for particular interactions, just in my personal...
Which is hard to understand if you're starting out, you're naive, right?
100%.
So you're still learning the landscape and navigating how to read people when you haven't had that experience at that level. So I can understand how sometimes you can get yourself in a situation, you're like, but how did I get here, right? Because you just don't have the wherewithal to understand, well, you walked into the room and X, Y, and Z, right?
I think as us, older women now,
right, you get to, which is
experience.
part of the experience, right?
Yes.
So I don't know if it's industry specific, I'm sure it is, but I feel that it's almost like just part of being a woman. And it's one of those things, fortunately, unfortunately, you have to learn how to navigate, and you have to learn the signs. You have to learn your own boundaries. You have to just kind of grow up and understand that. And I have 2 daughters, and so that's always, and even myself, I have a team I deal with. I have 99% of them are women. We're in childcare, and I use sweetheart. I use these words as a term of endearment. And
yes, but you're a woman. You're a woman. Women aren't.
this environment nowadays, that could be probably misconstrued and brought back to me in some way, but it's not my intention to, offend anybody or, make them feel uncomfortable by using some of those terms of endearment. But
And neither do men, for the most part.
I do understand that people are sensitive. It could be triggering. I don't know all of the backgrounds of everybody. So, it's just like we're learning. We're all still learning how to be better and how to take accountability for ourselves as well. I think you mentioned that.
Well, and I have 4 brothers, so I was schooled pretty early on.
There we go. Yeah, of course
take
you
something to
were.
work, and they were very protective. I kind of knew how just men were, locker room talk.
Yet you still turned out to be a 304.
So I imagine growing up with all girls, how do you know, right? I've had girlfriends who grew up with all women, and like you said, it's really your own experience and what you learn from home and bring to the workplace and how you navigate that, not knowing if a man touches you, like that could really trigger something for me. It's just like, oh.
I think that's also where communication plays a really big factor, especially in the workplace. Like to your point earlier, if you're using "Hey, sweetie" as a term of endearment that's coming from your male manager, and that makes you uncomfortable as a woman, maybe address that and say, "Hey, I don't like being called sweetie. Please just call me Natalie. That's my name."
Right.
But is calling someone sweetie actually like a problem?
I think
what's the line? What delineate this thing for me?
It depends on the person, right? If you call me sweetie and I'm telling you that makes me uncomfortable, then why would you continue to want to make me feel uncomfortable?
Oh, sure. If you come out and say that, right?
Well, of course.
I feel like that's like, hey, how are you, honey? Like that's not.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, Stroghog says a relationship expert who hasn't had a successful relationship. I don't get it, dude. I really don't. Neil McCoy said she is doughy. Yeah, she is doughy. I'm a little doughy too, but at least I'm doing something about it.
To me, isn't like harassment.
No, because your intentions were not that.
Right.
No. So, but in what you're saying, that you would just express it, and then it's in your ballpark to
Then
continue, or to kind of say, okay, I don't want to offend her. Or
But as a woman,
Hey, Nat, sweetie, do me a favor, all right? That's my story.
But as a woman, you have to think about, okay, what's going to happen if I do confront this situation?
Right.
What are the repercussions of that are going to happen? And for me, in my situation, it was, okay, now he's going to be watching everything that I do. He's going to be writing me up. It became.
Neil McCoy says the black chick looks fine. Yo, Neil, that bitch is 50. That bitch is 50 years old, man. Has 3 kids.
An HR issue because he wanted to retaliate, and this was a little bit older than you also. Where Me Too movement wasn't. We can talk about that. That's another subject, but that wasn't a thing back in this first job. So there really wasn't. I think men are a little bit more cautious now.
Yeah.
Versus
Scared.
Yeah. I think also you have to consider kind of what's leading up to like certain behaviors. Like if they're casual with you and like, hey, sweetie, can you help me with this? Like, I don't think it's deemed as like sexual harassment. But if you're a guy and your eyes are always wandering and you're always a little closer than usual and you're always whispering a little closer and you're like, hey, sweetie, like there becomes a fine line where it's like.
And again, that's more subjective analysis.
Okay, you're using it not really for endearment. You're using it to kind of like kind of get closer to you. So I think it's just a matter of also like previous actions before certain things are done, because women can feel like when men have like a.
Gentlemen, this is why the Mike Pence rule. This is the Mike Pence rule in effect. Roadblock says, Big Don, you're doughy from all that bread. Oh, my God. Very good. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Sexual intention. It's not very.
Yeah, CJ in the 562 says, women having brothers doesn't mean the same as it used to. Most brothers are simps. That's exactly right. She's using this, well, I was raised with 4 brothers, as a way to give her credibility. Bitch, you don't know shit. Sorry.
Very hard to like notice, right? Ladies, I don't know if you guys can, but it's pretty clear. Like, you call me sweetie, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, Sauce is flirting with me. Like, that's not what I take that as, because you don't treat me that way. You don't make me feel uncomfortable. But if you're like touching me a little too much, or you're in my ear too much, like, hey, sweetie.
Yeah, Natalia is full of shit. She's full of shit. Let's rewind that. I want to make sure we understand what's really going on here. Just watch.
Just wondering, and you're always a little closer than usual, and you're always whispering a little closer, and you're like, hey, sweetie, like, there becomes a fine line where it's like, okay, you're using it not really for endearment, you're using it to kind of like, kind of get closer to you. So I think it's just a matter of also like previous actions before certain things are done, because women can feel like when men have like a sexual intention, it's not very hard to like notice, right? Ladies, I don't know if you guys can, but it's pretty clear. Like, you call me sweetie, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, Sauce is flirting with me. Like, that's not what I take that as, because you don't treat me that way. You don't make me feel uncomfortable. But if you're like touching me a little too much, or you're in my ear too much, like, hey, sweetie, it becomes a little bit like, okay, now you cross the line, I feel uncomfortable, I'm going to.
Yes, only if the man is unattractive. Women are never sexually harassed by attractive men. Have you noticed that? Every guy that is accused of sexual harassment is not good looking. This is how it goes. The only time they don't get accused is when they have. The only time they get accused is when they have money. When there's a money grab.
To express that, but I think again, I think today people are more cautious of things like this. I think also how women react to certain things. It also becomes more of a kind of like you're putting a yellow tape in front of the guy, like, hey, like, I'm not okay with that. Like, let's back off a little bit. But again, I think it's also just your actions leading up to whatever it is that comes out of it.
Yeah, I think.
Jesus, Nat.
I don't know. I've never been in this world. Like,
well,
I'm
not a creep. That's why.
I'm not a creep. I have a sister. Like,
he's not a creep. Of course he's not a creep. He's good looking and he's rich. Stop it.
Yeah.
So who are the creepy dudes at work? I guess I'm wondering, like, this is
the guys who are not good looking and don't own the company. Like, this is easy, simple math.
One of my topics. I'm just actually genuinely interested in this. Like, is it always like some dude that hasn't been late in 10 years? Is it always some married guy that isn't getting attention? Like, in your
No, unattractive men. That's who they are.
Experience, what's the creepy? Like, you're running in for Congress and politics, I don't know. I just feel like politicians are creepy as fuck. I don't know. But like, what's your experience? Like, who are these people? Because in my opinion, this is me. If as a woman, if you're like, hey, I have a boyfriend and I appreciate whatever you're trying to do, creepy guy, but like, I'm good, thanks. That to me.
No, that's never going to happen, Adam. That's never going to happen. And girls don't do that. Girls don't do that. They just don't. They run to HR.
He's like, all right, cool, like move on, right? Like.
Yeah, but not all men are like that.
That's
Sometimes
my point.
men
I don't
get off
understand. Like,
on
who are these guys that are like, no, I don't care that you have a boyfriend. I'm a creepy ass motherfucker. I'm keep going. Who are these people?
I don't think they have a face or
I think
Generally interested. I don't know.
Men who
None of my
are-
buddies
they're
do
all
this. I don't have
different
any.
types. They're all different
Single,
types.
it's single guys. It's guys that are married with kids.
They're unhappy in their marriage.
Or happy.
But
just
I
have
think
relationships.
Catalina.
I think, look, I think a lot of, there are three sides to every story, right? I think that a lot of men now are scared in work environments to even compliment somebody or even be nice to a coworker because of so much of this Me Too movement. Not saying that some of the situations weren't valid, or there's obvious that in a lot of different industries. However, I think it does come down to a woman's comfort level. If I'm okay with locker room talk, someone like Natalie or Sarah might not be, and it might be offensive, or vice versa, right? I think people have to have just kind of that emotional intelligence to be able to kind of understand those boundaries. Women should take responsibility too in how they are interacting with men, but I also believe, and men should as well. But I think that now, because of it's like guys are afraid to even approach women nowadays, and not saying that you should at work, like hit on your secretary, but I think that it's crossed a line now where it's taking away from like normal human connection, and where is that balance of Me Too to building friendships and building a human connection.
And mentorship. I have a ton of men in my corporate, when I have my corporate life, that were legit business mentors, like yourself, who's made money and who can teach me some things. I think that there's some
God, here we go.
right now between men and women.
Well, you touched on something. You said
yeah, no shit.
That men are afraid to approach women these days.
Yes.
The overall sentiment that you guys have is that men are
yes,
afraid to approach
100%.
Me Too. Is that something?
Yes.
Are we saying it in the workplace or?
Yeah.
I believe that this whole toxic masculinity post-feminist era has really destroyed men being men, and now they don't feel that they can pursue. They don't feel that they can be confident in their advances if that's deemed too much. Like my dad showed up at my mom's doorstep when they were first dating. Nowadays, like someone would think that's like a stalker, but like to my mom, that was love. It's like there's been such a difference now, and I think that men have had to dial it back, and then women have to be the aggressors, and we don't want to be the aggressors. Like,
yeah, Willem, this is interesting. This is a very, very good question. Very good question by Willem. He says, Don, please, what is emotional intelligence? What is emotional intelligence? Women, and guys, women don't want, how can I put this? Emotional intelligence, as far as a woman is concerned, is just meaning being vulnerable. That's it. Show vulnerability, make yourself weak on purpose. That's what women think they want. No, they want emotional intelligence, meaning that they don't want emotional vulnerability. They want emotional trust. They want a man to trust them enough to be able to be open and share things with them. It's not about him being weak. It's just about him trusting her enough to tell her these things. Here's the problem. Most women are not trustworthy. Even the women who claim to love us. Even the women who claim to love us. Emotional trust is what women are after. They're not after emotional intelligence. They're not after vulnerability. Yeah, Zeno says, why would I give a woman ammo by being vulnerable? Exactly. No, I've shared some things with Devin, but we've been together for 7 years. Over 7 years. I trust her emotionally. Now that doesn't mean that I cry around her and no, I don't do all of that. I don't, Devin, I'm coming, I've got this emotional. No. But every once in a while I will lean on her for something to be like, hey, my sister, my brother, whatever did this. What are your thoughts? That's about as far as I'll go. Right? I remember my dad had a health scare a few years back. That shit threw me for a fucking loop. I don't have the best relationship with my dad, but I still love him. And if he were to die, it would destroy me. Right? And it's not like I purposely made that decision. No, it's my dad. It's my dad. But Devin has built up enough. She's got enough time and skin in the game to the point to where I can trust her emotionally. Because at this point, she has more to lose than I do.
I don't want to be pursuing a guy. I want to be pursued, but so many guys.
Sarah wants you to go up and say, no, dudes.
Well,
just the initial approach, and you let him take it from there.
And that's fair, but I think that in such this, again, post-feminist era and toxic masculinity, I think we do need to go back to some traditional gender roles of, you know, Men shouldn't be afraid to approach a woman that they are interested in or ask them out.
But he doesn't know if he's going to get a you that he's approaching, or if he's going to get a woman who completely humiliates him and makes him feel like a total POS, right? Like if he's sitting and looking at 2 different women and going, okay, I'm going to approach one, that's where men are at. It's like, I don't know what the reaction's going to be.
Yeah, but a guy has to shoot a shot. I mean, there's not like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? I noticed that. Like, shoot your shot. If she's like, sorry, if I got here, then go move on to the next one. Like, it's not a big deal.
How much of it do you think now is the worry about sexual harassment versus just all the dating apps, and they're just scared because it's all DMs and they have no idea how to converse?
Oh, there it is.
How'd you meet your wife?
I met my wife. We were both in grad school together, and then we ended
Oh
up
wow,
in
look at
Hawaii.
that.
Both our families were taking trips at the same time at the same hotel. And I made a post on Facebook, and we were Facebook friends, and she said, I'm going on a hike tomorrow. And then we started messaging each other on Facebook, and said, let's go hang out.
Zeno says, even if she's earned it, it's just not productive to be emotional with women. They're not built to handle our problems and don't think like we do. Most of the time we need solutions. You're 100% right. 100% right. And anytime I share anything with Devin, it's because I need a solution, right? What are your thoughts on this? How should I approach my sister when talking about this? Good observation, Xenos. Very good.
Her brother, just in case I was a stalker.
I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that correctly, Xenos, or instead of ex-Xenos.
Going up on the island, yeah.
Brought the brother to the date?
It wasn't a date. It was just, hey, let's go hang out, meet, cool. Gotcha. And then she had to fly home the next day, and her family was staying on. I hung out with her brother the rest of the trip, and we became friends. And then got back on the mainland the next week, and ended up her friends and my friends were both at the same country concert, and then we kind of connected there, and the rest.
You hung out with the brother before.
Yeah.
Okay, by the way, just so you know, buddy, take down your sister. Sister's hot. You're like, oh yeah, take her to a country concert. And you've been married how long now?
It'll be 11 years in September.
Congrats, dude. Thank you.
Hey.
So,
you've been married how many years?
So, okay, married and together, 2 different things. So I've been married twice. I've been married twice.
Oh boy. There's a chink in the armor. Married twice.
I'm in that bucket. My first husband was my college sweetheart.
Uh-huh.
My second husband, I met him at this restaurant by the name of Prime 112, which many of you know.
That's
And
the most expensive restaurant in Miami, you know,
this is a long
today.
time ago. We've been
Okay.
together for 18 years now.
Wow.
So it was just, he wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't really trying to go out, and we met, and a friend begged him to drop her off to meet me because she had kind of stood me up. Long time, kind of funny story. But anyway, so we met at Prime 112, and then we went.
Did he approach you?
Prime 112. Oh
we
boy.
went to he never goes out to clubs, but I was like, oh, you guys are so late, we're going out to a club. And he was like, okay, whatever. So we went to this place called Mint at the time. I don't know.
Mint?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Mint.
I've heard of Mint, yes.
We
Guys
walked
are playing
in
all
for
my best
5
hits, yeah.
minutes, and
Oh,
then
you
he's like,
can
it's
sick
time to
right now, 'cause I was at Prime
go.
112 at Mint,
Right,
right?
exactly, right.
Holy shit.
Right, miles
Okay.
at Prime
Yeah,
112.
my favorites, yeah.
So, it was fine. And then when he was bringing us back to drop us off, and he said to my friend and her sister, you two go, you stay. And then that was it. All right.
Hold on, give me that line again.
You two go, you stay.
Sounds pretty toxic.
Yeah, I was gonna say that could be. That's why it also depends like how the girl feels about the guy, because if a guy said that and he was making you uncomfortable, that would make you even more uncomfortable. So it really also depends like
You know,
how
as
a
a
girl
guy,
is
like,
feeling
you
for
kinda
the guy.
Yeah, the level up man says so. She has kids from multiple baby daddies. Uh-huh. That's how it works. Oh no, looks like we're gonna have to take her down a few notches, y'all. Y'all know how this works.
Girl's feeling you like you know.
I don't know if I was
Read the
putting on
room.
a vibe, to be honest with you, but
You
I was
stayed.
like, fine.
Yeah.
I'm like a very, I don't know, I kind of go with the flow. I see things, but I don't, you know what? I don't
Stop the
attach.
cap.
I don't attach.
Dude, she's an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs never go with the flow. Sorry.
Get out of here. You say. I
Not
feel
like that.
I feel
Not
like women
that,
do
but I
like
don't
that kind of
attach.
like a guy taking control of a situation.
Men
you know?
should making a decision.
Yeah.
Men should take control. They should lead. They should. The best piece of advice I always heard: men they pursue, and women provide the depth of the relationship. So they basically control the timeline. Women control the depth. I think men should be the leaders. They should take control. And I think in such we don't have to get into this, but and again, like women who are working and they're trying to be boss babes or whatever. I hate that word, but women want to be submissive. I think the majority of women want a man to lead and again, take control, do your thing. And somewhere along the way, we got lost in women now taking control of the relationship. And I think it should.
Well, the handkerchief was always dropped. We always made the first move technically.
Oh no! But y'all don't do that. Y'all don't do that these days. You do not drop handkerchiefs. Most of y'all bitches have your faces in your fucking phones.
To initiate contact,
Biologically,
right?
yeah.
To give, you're not going to approach a girl who's not necessarily smiling at you or
That's
giving
not
you.
true at all.
Right. Right.
He's the creepy one.
I feel like it's incumbent on the guy to go up like and be like, hey,
It
what's
is.
up? Like,
But
girls
without-
do not make the first move.
But without
No,
any signal,
they
without
can't.
a smile, without any.
But there's a
Okay.
sign to that there is
Eye
an
contact,
energy
sure.
that they pick
Yeah.
up on, that you're open.
It's
or,
like I'm into you, like those pheromones.
We call these indicators of interest. Pheromones, who knows? But yes, if a girl makes prolonged eye contact with you, she wants you to approach. If a girl makes prolonged eye contact with you, she wants you to approach. Totally Not Pablo says, what is she on? I've got it sped up. I've got this sped up. So yeah, it sounds a little fast.
I will say when you have that energy, let's say you're sitting across the room at a bar or whatever, and you exchange eye contact, that guy is more likely to come and approach you at some point in the
Unbelievable. Did you hear what this woman just said? She literally just said what I said.
night versus if you had no contact. You're not just gonna get a pat on the shoulder from Joe and be like, who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? It's like, hey, nice to meet you. You know?
Yeah, but I've also seen guys just kind of walk up to girls like, I don't want to put you out there, but you know, Sauce is bold enough where they'll walk up to, you know, some groups of people and it's either like, I'm sorry, but I'm just saying. You
Look, oh Jesus.
don't necessarily. And
I'm not
for
gonna.
guys out there, you don't necessarily have to always wait for something to approach a woman. I think.
Sorry, I can't. I don't take Natalie serious.
My worst job I ever had is also my best job I ever had. Because my worst job I ever had was I started off as a cold caller for a financial firm. I made zero money my first year. No money whatsoever. I'm cold calling. But that develops competence, and then competence develops confidence. And that same job that I fucking hated, 17 years later, I run a financial firm, and that's helped me make millions of dollars over the last 17 years because I've developed the skill set to actually deal with rejection, deal with people saying, stop calling me, deal with basically overcoming objections, developing relationships, and the same guys.
Xenos, another good comment, says, this is why you can never take a woman at face value. Just be patient. Their tactics are optimized for secrecy. Wow. Holy smokes, man. We might have the second coming of Red Pill Mike in here.
15 years ago, they were like, stop calling me. Now we're doing multi-million-dollar deals. So when it comes to dating, I feel like a guy, regardless of the Me Too, all this nonsense, a guy, it's incumbent on...
Roadblock 85 says, how are the other bitches more accurate than the dating coach, right? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Oh, never mind. I already read that one. All right.
Him to be like, hey, how you doing? I just want to tell you that I really think your outfit's really nice. Whatever bullshit.
Cigarman85 with the $5 super chat says, they don't drop the handkerchief. They drop OnlyFans links now. Yeah, right?
Line you want to come up with. And if a girl's into you, she's like, thanks, whatever. And then you just say, hey, you want to drink, whatever. I feel like a guy, like, I know you're saying that a girl needs to go up and talk to a guy. I never see that happen. The girls very rarely come up to me unless they're like desperate and they're like trying to get laid or whatever. And all good ladies. But I feel like the prettiest girls out there, a guy has to go up and approach. Pretty girls are not going up to dudes being like, so I've been noticing you across. It just doesn't happen.
Some girls
a guy has to roll up and be like, hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 and shoot your shot. And that's what I've learned from cold calling or just being like in the nightlife world in South Beach for the last 20 years. The guy has to be an alpha and step up and do what he's got to do to make the sale, to meet the girl, to find the prospect, because they're not going to come to you. You got to go find them.
But don't you think a girl needs to also participate in that type of relationship if she wants a relationship, right? Like it might be a flick of the hair, it might be, you know, sitting a little bit closer to him, it might be giving him a little bit of sign that, hey, like it's okay. Is that what would you not
sure,
say?
Like I'd love to have a sign, but if there's some hot ass girl over in the corner and she's facing the wrong way and she doesn't see me and I'm with my buddy, I'm not gonna be like, so I'm just waiting on this sign. As soon as she flicks her hair, that's my move. I'm just not gonna roll up.
No, that makes sense. What Adam is saying makes sense. You don't have to wait for an indicator of interest, but if you do see an indicator of interest, that drastically increases your odds of success, right? If you're tall, if you're good looking, if you have game and you cold approach a woman, see, that's a cold approach right there, right? And listen, if a girl makes contact with you, if a girl makes eye contact with you and you go and approach, I guess that's a cold approach. But I don't think that's even a cold approach. I think that's a lukewarm approach. A cold approach is going up to a woman who has no idea that you're there and talking to her. That's how it works.
Fair point.
Yeah, girls like, yes, I understand. Yeah, that'd be great to have a sign. But back to the cold caller, like, I'm like, it'd be great if this potential business prospect flicked his hair at me and made me feel appreciated. No, I'm gonna pick up the phone and be like, hey, here's the deal, blah, blah, blah.
There you go.
Just like, you didn't get a sign from Tony Robbins.
No, you
just
follow up,
over
and over.
Yeah.
I think it's like, you don't give up, right? You're just always at it. I mean, and all of these experiences, whether they've been negative, I mean, I didn't share what my worst job was or my best, but I think the takeaway is yeah, they're really bad, but they're still
Young Metro says having too many options creates entitlement. Ooh, wow, good one. Yes.
learned in them. And that if you can take
Ice Dragon Kid says a lot of guys are using waiting for signs as an excuse not to approach. Yes. That is exactly right. I just wait for them to come to me. Translation. I'm afraid to approach. Guys, I have a deep sales background. I've sold, oh my God. I've sold automobiles. I've sold home improvement projects. I've sold cell phones. I've sold magazine space. Right? This is part of the reason I have, and I guess I've always had the gift of gab, but having a decade plus of experience in the sales game and the sales industry, yeah, my gift of gab is top notch. Like, dude, my mouthpiece was always superior. I just needed to know how to use it.
the lessons, then you're just evolving to the next one. And that's pretty much the goal that gets you to where you are, where you love what you're doing, and you kind of find your space, right? And you don't get there overnight. You have to like kind of feel it out, knock your head up against the wall a couple times, and then, you know, the formula presents, I think.
You know, back in the day, they said there was like hunter-gatherer societies.
Yes.
Dudes got to be hunters. Yeah. Okay?
That's right.
And with all respect to you, it'd be great if a hot girl was like, hey, how you doing, buddy? But like, a guy's got to go out and be like, yo, we're not going to eat tonight.
And if a hot girl comes up to you and says, hey, how you doing? Don't be surprised if she invoices you at the end of the night. Hot girls don't approach dudes unless they're working girls. Never forget that.
if we don't go kill this buffalo.
It's also so I'm interested to see what you guys think about Bumble then, because that is one of the biggest dating apps.
Yeah,
in our
where the
time.
girl has to make the first move.
That's correct.
In my
I
experience,
think
Bumble
it's
does
so
not have a good
unattractive
girl.
when
I don't even know how it works.
it's like women shouldn't have. It's like guys should try. Guys should be.
Yes, I agree with her. Guys should try, but women are so picky and selective. It's just like Young Metro said. There's so many options. Girls look for the dumbest reasons to disqualify a man. So yeah, listen, guys have been berated for years and years and years. Hashtag me too, believe all women, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, ladies, but dude, men, we are deductive problem solvers. If men are getting blown out and humiliated, then guess what? They're going to stop approaching. That's just how it is.
Be the ones that put in effort and pursue. Again, I think it's almost like, it's like, what are you, lazy? Like, what are you, if you're not into somebody, just like say, it's like, I don't understand why, I don't get this, where the roles again are reversed. It's just so, it's unattractive. Men should be.
She's right.
100%.
She's right.
You're not just rolling up on dudes and being like, hey, buddy.
Whoa, all the time. Because I can talk to a wall. If there's a cute guy, well, of course I'm gonna say hi. Like, why not? Of course, but I think that naturally a man should pursue. I think women would feel more comfortable, we were talking about this earlier, kind of relaxing and being in their own space and kind of providing like more of that femininity if a guy pursued them.
Do you think that's
I agree.
Do you think that there's a shift now with the newer generation that has kind of women taking a stance like, no, I got this too, don't tell me how to.
I'm sure. I think it also shows, though, it's almost like a test of how they are going to be like almost as a father, too. It's like, are they going to take the lead? Are they going to be in control?
I don't know
Are they
about that,
gonna do
sister. I don't know. I mean, I've been married twice with two. I don't know if that's the formula that leads to it, because I think you can go into it with that mindset.
Here we go. Hold on.
Parent, you don't really.
We're gonna find out.
And kind of providing like more of that femininity if a guy pursued them.
Do you think that's generational, though? Do you think that there's a shift now with the newer generation that has kind of women taking a stance like, no, I got this too, don't tell me how to.
I'm sure. I think it also shows, though, it's almost like a test of how they are going to be like almost as a father, too. It's like, are they going to take the lead? Are they going to be in control?
I don't know
are they
about that,
gonna do
sister. I don't know. I mean, I've been married twice with two. I don't know if that's the formula that leads to it, because I think you can go into it with that mindset.
Hang on a second. That didn't make any sense.
Again, I think it's almost like, it's like, what are you, lazy? Like, what are you, if you're not into somebody, just like say, it's like, I don't understand why, I don't get this, where the roles again were reversed.
Yeah, the roles were reversed. See, here's where the roles were reversed. Feminism effectively split the man into two, right? Back in the day, men used to be everything women wanted and needed. Well, what feminism did, along with the advent of hormonal birth control, is it has split the men. The men that women want and the men that women need. That's why the roles have been reversed.
It's just so, it's unattractive. Men should be the hunters, 100%.
So you're not just rolling up on dudes and being like, hey, buddy.
Whoa, all the time. Because I can talk to a wall. If there's a cute guy, well, of course I'm going to say hi. Like, why not? Of course, but I think that naturally a man should pursue. I think women would feel more comfortable, we were talking about this earlier, kind of relaxing and being in their own space and kind of providing like more of that femininity if a guy pursued them.
Yeah, but girls aren't, I mean, she's right, but girls ain't doing that. Girls aren't doing that. That's why guys are not approaching.
Do you think that's generational, though? Do you think that there's a shift now with the newer generation that has kind of women taking a stance like, no, I got this too, don't tell me how to.
I'm sure. I think it also shows, though, it's almost like a test of how they are going to be like almost as a father, too. It's like, are they going to take the lead? Are they going to be in control?
I don't know
are they
about
gonna
that,
do
sister. I don't know. I mean,
No, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Look, man, if a man can't lead his woman, what makes you think he can lead his children?
I've been married twice with two.
Oh,
that's
boy.
the formula that leads to it, because I think you can go into it with that mindset, but until you're actually a parent, you don't really know what kind of
How
parent
they're
you're
gonna
going to
be.
be. So I don't think there's signs that you're like, oh, I think he's going to be a great father because he's so sweet, blah, blah, blah. And then you have kids and you're like, that dude doesn't do anything, So I don't think you know from my experience, really. I think it's different. Are they a good human? Do they have a strong moral compass? Are they toxic? All of these things, that will then determine if you're going to have a good partner in being a parent or not. But the other things, I think it's hard to then assume that.
Let me get some bottom line here, because I'm going to move to the next topic. Because you're married, single, married. Would you rather a guy approach you or you approach the guy? Go ahead, Catalina.
A guy approach me. Guy approach me.
Of course. Okay, everybody.
Except for your hot wife's brother. You got to win him over. Matt, what do you say?
Oh, guy approach me.
That was funny.
So that's the bottom line. Even though you're encouraging women to go to talk to men, you got to go shoot your shot. That's it.
Shoot or shoot.
Hunt, shoot or shoot.
Yeah, Young Metro says because you're always pursued and it gets you feeling like you're special. You're probably right, Young Metro. You're probably right, but in the game, in the game of love, sex, whatever the case may be, men, we are the pursuers and women are the deciders. That's just how it works. That's always how it's worked. Not only that, women cannot tolerate. They do not handle rejection well at all. They don't handle rejection well at all. Holy smokes.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I respect that.
Yes.
By the way, here's an article right here talking about men and what they're bringing to the table and shooting your shot. Here's an article about how much money this woman wants her man to make. Last night I dated a girl. Topic came up of how much she would want a man for her to make in order to marry him solely for the money that came up. And she's worried because she makes double what she said. Anyway, here's the deal.
Oh, boy.
By the way, she was looking to date a guy who makes between 300 and 500 grand a year. Her number. All good. You're a dating coach, so I want to get your thoughts on this. By the way, 17% of men make 100 grand a year. 5% of men make 250 grand. 1%.
I'm sorry. Adam, I don't know where he got these statistics from, but this is incorrect.
Here's the deal. By the way, she was looking to date a guy who makes between 300 and 500 grand a year. That was her number. All good. You're a dating coach, so I want to get your thoughts on this. By the way, 17% of men make 100 grand a year.
Oh, no, that is wrong. That is incorrect. 17% of men do not make 100 grand a year. No. Oh, boy. All right, wait a minute. Yeah, man. 17% of men do not make no $100,000 a year. Not a fucking chance.
5% of men make 250 grand. 1% make $500,000 a year. So, ladies.
Oh, no. Those are both wrong. Those are absolutely wrong. Wow.
Since you want men to shoot their shot, to take a man seriously, how much money does a man need to make a year for you to actually consider him husband material? Go ahead.
I don't know if there's an exact dollar amount per se that I would want my man to make.
Stop the cap.
It's okay.
This is tough. I don't.
Shoot your shot, girl. Shoot your shot. How much would you want your man to make in order to consider him husband material? Would you marry a guy who makes 50 grand, 100 grand?
I think it depends.
$500,000. Say a number.
It's just him, not collectively. Like when we're filing taxes, this is not a joint.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What do you want your man to bring to the table?
I'd say 6 figures.
Okay.
But I have to, you have to know that a man that's dedicated to grinding and hustling and making money isn't going to have, as much time for you.
There you go. There you go.
You give me a take. If you're somebody who needs like constant attention and wants somebody up your asshole all day to entertain you, he's not going to be making 100 grand plus.
There you go. Very good. She's right. She's right.
Okay. If you're that type of woman that wants to constantly be texting her man, babe, what are you doing every 10 minutes and just like constant like fucking bitching and pecking, constant tension, you have to know that type of man is not going to be making.
Thrilla72 says, nah, Donovan, just because I don't want to risk getting me too doesn't mean I can't lead my family. That makes that makes no sense. Yeah, I suppose you're right. But then how are you going to get a family if you don't want, look, and don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. Please believe. Don't get me wrong. Like dude, the juice is not worth the squeeze with regards to cold approaching women. As someone who cold approached women for years and years, I can attest that it is very, very difficult. But in today's dating climate, yeah, man. Yep. But just like Sosnick said, just like Michael Jordan said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So, all right, so you don't want to approach a woman at risk of getting Me Too'd. Well, good luck having a family.
6 figures, busting his ass on Wall Street because he's not going to have that much time for you.
Clearly,
is my point.
Do women actually want a man that's like peppering them all day, every day? Hey, what's up, babe?
No, they say they do, but they don't.
No, I feel like that's like.
It's definitely not me. I can tell you that. I'm 180 from that. I've had more men that are like that to me, like, oh, you didn't text me back in 6 hours. I was going to text your friend and see where you were. Like, why? I was fucking napping and cleaning and running errands. Why?
Okay. Sarah, minimum. I'm going to come to you, but you're married, so I don't want to put your husband's stuff out there.
No, we don't.
Let's go to the single ladies.
Yeah.
No, there is no minimum. I've dated teachers. I've dated partners at Deloitte & Touche.
No, of course there is no minimum. You want to know why there is no minimum? Think about the answers that look at the two women on your screen. Their answers are completely different. The young and beautiful blonde says, I need 6 figures a year. Perfectly natural. This woman is attractive. She's in her early 20s. She is far more likely to get a 6-figure guy than Sarah Dawn Moore. That's why she says there is no minimum. There is no minimum because she's 38.
I've dated all across the board. It really more so matters about their character. Are they honest?
Of course.
Will they cheat?
Here we go.
Do they have passion for what they do?
Here we go.
Because a man who does not have purpose and passion in his life is.
Yeah, but what if his purpose and passion in life, Sarah, doesn't pay the bills? Right? Look, purpose and passion don't pay the bills, sweet cheeks. Like, you can have a husband who is purposeful and passionate and all this other kind of stuff. If the bills ain't getting paid, you're up out of there, as you should be. So miss me with that nonsense.
Not necessarily a happy man to be around. So I would say, somebody where we're not struggling, where we're not having to scrounge together everything that we have just to go on one vacation a year, it would be nice. But I want
here
them to
we
be
go.
passionate about what they do.
Here we go. Just to go on one vacation a year. Do you know how many people actually get to go on a vacation every year? Huh? Do you know how many women or how many families, how many people get to go on one vacation a year?
Do and to love what they do.
So you said you dated teachers, and that's sort of on the lower end of the financial spectrum, and then you dated partners at Deloitte, which is one of the big four accounting firms out there.
Yep.
So I assume their income was completely divergent.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the difference?
Depends on what you value. I mean, do I value going out to a steak dinner every once in a while? Of course. But would I rather have my man home with me, being able to potentially raise a family, having them be present versus a partner at Deloitte and Touche? It is not going to be able to provide you with that lifestyle, to be up my ass all the time. They're going to be busy. They're building a business. They are not going to.
A lot of stuff going on here.
A lot of stuff going on. Yeah. That's just my personal preference for me.
So what would you prefer?
I would prefer the teacher.
You would prefer the teacher who makes less amount of money.
Correct.
But he's more up your ass, I guess, versus the partner at Deloitte who's.
Stop the cap.
No. That's what she says. She's saying this so that she doesn't look shallow. She's saying that she doesn't look shallow. Sorry. You have the same wants and needs as everybody else.
Nowhere near your ass.
That's correct. That's
Why?
correct. Because
I feel like your life would be a lot better with a guy, like a good-looking CPA who's 37 years old, who met his wife in Hawaii, who just actually met the brother, and they had a great time. I feel like
there you go.
What everyone would want.
Well, it depends on what you define as a good life.
Oh, here, see, this is what she does when she gets called out. This is what she does when she gets called out. Well, it depends upon what you define as a good life. Everything is subjective with her. Listen, when you are wrong, everything is subjective. Everything is subjective. Well, it depends on what you consider a good life. Well, you've already given us a clue to be able to take at least one vacation a year. See that? Ray Hanma is in the house. Haven't seen you in a while. Says women overseas will approach you. I'm good with that. Thrilla72 says, yes, brother. Out of the many women I approached before I had my family, only one was receptive, and she actually waved me over. I learned that it's best to gain some sort of social proof first. Well, congratulations, Thrilla. You are the exception to the rule. I'm glad that you were able to meet your wife cold approaching. That's the exception, not the rule. I mean, and don't get me wrong. Listen, I'm glad you have a family. I really, really am. And I'm glad you got it via cold approach. Right? But for most men, not being able to cold approach a woman, or at least approach a woman that is giving you some sort of IOI to come over and talk to her, those men are too weak to lead their relationships. And to be quite honest with you, I don't know about your relationship with your wife and kids. I'm not, and listen, I believe you, but I mean, who's to say that you're not a simp, right? Who's to say that your wife doesn't run your relationship? All right? Like, I'm just going on what I've seen. So look, I'm glad that you're in a good relationship and everything, but that's just not how things go most of the time.
Your stance on it, and I appreciate and I respect that you do value money. You value money for freedom, and you like nice things, and you like to take nice vacations.
There you go.
Personally, that doesn't necessarily bring me happiness. I've had both. I've had the money. I've had the guy who did all the things.
Oh, look at that. I've actually cracked. All right, look at that. I've cracked 500 viewers on I've cracked 500 live viewers on YouTube for the first time in forever. How about that? Oh, and as soon as I said something, we go right back down to 495. Damn.
And if somebody isn't necessarily emotionally present with you, if they're on a vacation and they're on their phone all the time, that makes a woman feel potentially very insecure. It makes her feel.
What about the dude? Like, who the fuck? Like, dude, like, what kind of man is she? Like, dude, when I'm on vacation, I'm not on my phone all the time. Dude, I almost never know where the hell my phone is. What kind of dudes is she talking about, man?
Feel like she's alone in the relationship. So I think there's a balance between money and being a present partner in a relationship.
Gotcha. So there's no minimum. You would date a broke ass dude if he's home all day, every day with you.
Probably not. They need to have some sort of ambition. I think, again, it's...
Thrilla72 says, example, saying hello to people in the environment. The amount of times I've had a woman grab my attention whilst chilling out with my boys having fun. Great. This means that you are probably an attractive guy. Right? Like, again, it is what it is. Like, I'm not trying to bag you here, but come on, man, you're killing me.
It's about characteristics. This is about...
Got it. So, the financial component not a major factor for you?
No, I've been poor. I could eat macaroni and cheese all day.
Well, she's one of the best.
Do you like hot sauce?
Heck yeah, baby, the hotter the better.
What's that mean? Like...
Say what? Oh boy. Oh boy.
Macaroni and cheese all day.
Well, she's one of the best.
Do you like hot sauce on?
Heck yeah, baby, the hotter the better.
She says, do you like hot sauce on the macaroni and cheese? Now, hold up a second. Who asked her? Who asked her if she likes hot sauce on the macaroni and cheese?
Got it. So, the financial component not a major factor for you?
No, I've been poor. I could eat macaroni and cheese all day.
Well, she's one of the best.
Do you like hot sauce on it?
Heck yeah, baby. The hotter the better.
What's that mean?
Wait a minute. I got it. Look.
Macaroni and cheese all day.
Well, she's one of the best.
Do you like hot sauce on it?
Heck yeah, baby.
Oh boy, there it is. There it is. Oh my goodness. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Did you hear what I heard? Did you hear what I heard? She says the hotter, the better. Which means what, class? Oh, yes, sir. She fucks niggas, y'all. She absolutely does. But let's not let this little nugget get away. The hot 30-year-old who is conservative asked her, do you like hot sauce on it? Now, I'm not one to pass judgment, right? I don't know because I'm not there. But any white girl who actually knows that people put hot sauce on their macaroni and cheese, yes, sir. There it is, baby. You know it. She fucks niggas, y'all. Let them know. Let them know. Let them know. Oh, my God. Miss 30-year-old hotness has definitely fucked niggas. Oh, yes, she has. You better fucking believe it. She says, do you put hot sauce on it? Mm-hmm. Then old girl said, the hotter the better. Uh-huh. She fucks niggas, y'all. I'm trying to tell you.
The hotter the better.
What's that meme with that saying where it's like, I want hot sauce on my chicken? You guys have heard that?
No, I heard that one. Catalina.
Somebody find the soundtrack.
I want hot sauce. Wait a minute. Did this white girl hold the fucking phone? Hold the fucking phone. We might have a panel of all night writers. Yes, sir. The white girl said, I want hot sauce on my chicken. And look at the chicken eating grin on her face. Oh boy. Oh no. We are 3 for 3. We got 3. Look, in a span of about 6 seconds, we have managed to ferret out 3 night writers. Wow. Wow. Goddamn.
What is your man's income?
I would have to agree with Sarah on this, that I'd rather have a guy who is chasing a dream instead of, even if that means not chasing money, right? I think that a man should have their own purpose and their own journey and sense of who they are and have that happiness, and that's actually better for a relationship than just some monetary value or how much they're making. I do understand that men like to be providers. I also understand that there are a lot of guys out there who get intimidated if women make more money than they do and all that.
There we go. There's the feminist going out of her. We do not get intimidated by women who make more money than we do. We don't care if you make more money than us. We're not intimidated. Why would we be intimidated by a woman who makes more money than we do? What, because she can buy more than we do? What, is she going to beat us up because we don't make it? No. We are not scared of women who make more money than we do. What is this? That dude, I mean, honestly, I'm surprised this chick isn't fatter because she's drinking all that Coca-Cola.
I think that there's a fine line. I think about there are
Why all of a sudden do I want fried chicken now? It's kind of weird.
a lot of entrepreneurs, and if we have to cut back on spending because you're building your business and you're building your dream or you're pivoting a career, whatever it might be, I think that matters more, that person who's finding their sense of self and purpose and vision, than just some, dollar value. For that woman to put some monetary value on what their husband should make, it's like, okay, go get your own job. Like, go provide for yourself, be a better spouse and build something together. And I think there's also so much pressure on millennial men too. You think back on your parents or a lot of older generations, they built something together. They weren't just, they didn't come out with 6-figure jobs after college. And had to buy a house. Like, they struggled together. And I think that there is so much pressure now in our generation to have it all figured out. Instead of actually, those times in life are probably when you actually learn the most about your partner and develop that foundation and that loyalty and that love along the way. My guy in a midlife crisis wanted to be a janitor. It's like, baby, you go be the best damn janitor ever and make, 10 grand a year. I don't care.
Okay, that's why I gotta stop this.
Okay, so that's cute of her to say. But that's not really what it is. A woman is attractive. A woman is, Strawhog says, think you could pass me wing, Don? I got you, bruh. I got you. Damn, chicken wings do sound good. Damn, Truebone says, damn, now I want fried chicken with some Frank's. Man, y'all need to stop. And, dude, Devin loves fried chicken. You wouldn't know it to look at her, but goddamn. Young Metro says, ask her if she'll be with an average man. I'll bet she'll say no. Of course. Like, it's all, listen, that sounds great. That sounds all well and good on paper that you would give an average guy a chance, but look at her. She's never given an average guy a chance in her life, and she's not about to start now. Yeah, Roadblock 85 says she's talking like a politician now. Yeah, exactly.
I think it's expensive.
Nobody's dating a
My
janitor.
point is, hey, there are
Yes.
a lot of great janitors out there. My point is, they should find their passion and their purpose, and it shouldn't be about this materialistic world of trying to keep up with some lifestyle, because think about the amount of depression.
I get it, but unfortunately, this is and women don't want to build with men anymore. They really don't. Young women now have their options of men in their mid to late 30s who have their shit together. Women aren't trying to struggle with the law student who's who just got out of law school and has to take the bar next month. No, she wants the guy who's already got his own practice. That's just how that works.
And how hard it is for guys to try to keep up with the Joneses or try to appease their wives, who, I'm sorry, a lot of women have become materialistic. And that is unfortunate.
She's right.
You know, they're not being good. Women aren't sometimes, I think, being good partners, and vice versa, right?
Okay. And there's plenty of guys who like their Rolexes too and get materialistic.
Good.
But I think it's a
should.
false dichotomy that it has to be either you're taking a vow of poverty or you're spending time with your spouse.
Yes. Right.
Especially the best way to
That
do it
makes
is
sense.
owning your own business, because you just have the ability to actually create your life with intention.
Well, look, you're right. Owning your own business does afford you a little bit of flexibility in the way of spending time with your family. But when you own your own business, you go from having one boss to having about 20 bosses. So let's not mislead men into thinking that if you're an entrepreneur, you're just going to have all of this expendable time. No. No, you'll have a little more time, but not that much.
But I think that also, when it's not just you and you have a family, having some money certainly helps a lot of things. With this craziness these last couple of years and COVID and everything that was going on, we were planning on putting our kids in public school forever. They're in private school now, and we couldn't do that without having some sort of income. So I think that while you're on your own and live in an apartment or whatever, it's easier to not care as much about the income. And I agree, it's still important to have a passion. But I think that having a passion and then also having some ambition to go provide for your family is important too.
Absolutely, and that security is so important. And again, we want people who are financially stable and are building something. I just think that to put like a dollar sign on or a value is like sick to me.
Why is that sick? See, there it is. Listen, she's an attractive woman, clearly. But she thinks that putting a dollar value on it is, no, that's not sick. That's not sick. This is survival. This is survival. I'd rather have a man who is pursuing his passion. No. Because a man who's pursuing his passion, but he's broke, is every bit as miserable as the dude who makes $40K a year working in a cubicle farm. Stop it. I don't think it's sick to say that I like blonde women with huge tits. That's not sick. That's my preference. It's my part of my biological imperative. Why is it sick to why is it sick to quantify what you want your man's finances to be? I will never understand why women are always so averse to just keeping it real.
Husband has to make $1.5 million in order for you to like consider them. I mean, I think that's.
King Life says, how to catch a night rider. A plate of fried chicken, hot sauce, and macaroni. You stupid. You stupid, but you're right. You're right. And don't forget the Kool-Aid. Don't forget the Kool-Aid with extra sugar.
It's just not the way I would operate. But no, I totally understand. You need security and you want somebody who's financially stable and ambitious. And to build your.
Yeah, Eric E. Jones says she's camouflaging her mating strategies, as all women do.
Like you said it, building something together. And that takes on many different phases as you have family. Sometimes you choose, I stayed at home for a long time, raising children. And then I was like, okay, it's now time. I'm at a point where I can go back into the workforce. So, you support each other, and that looks very different at different times based on where you're at. And totally agree. Purpose, determination, consistency. We talked about all this. If you have all that, you will get to that point where you're able to, afford things that you want for your children and for your family and experiences and taking the vacations and making sure your kids have all of that because you want that for your children. You end up going for your children. But, I think those are, you don't have to choosing one or the other. I agree. I don't think that that's the way to look at it or the perspective. It's where that comes together.
Look, we're going to get into some of the most expensive cities going on in the country. Life is getting more expensive these days, guys.
Yeah.
So,
of course it is.
With all due respect, I don't see the lovely Catalina Loft dating a janitor making 10 grand a year. With all due respect.
Hey, if there was love, you never know.
Okay. All right. So, anyway, should we pick the janitor out? I think he would love to date you. I just don't see it happening. I feel like, there's lip service because you don't want to say things like, oh, of course I want my guy to
I'll say it.
make
Of course
six
I want
figures.
my guy to make 6 figures.
Yeah,
I'll
of
say it
course.
for the ladies.
Because life is getting more expensive these days. I mean,
She said she would like her guy to make 6 figures. Never mind, I'm not going to do it. I was going to pick fun at Adam. I was going to say he already does, Nat, but my bad, Adam. Just having fun. Just having fun.
Look, we'll go through some of the most expensive cities.
Look. I don't believe that Adam is smashing Natalia because that's what he told me, but Natalia clearly has a crush on Adam. I think we can at least acknowledge that, right? Like, Natalia clearly has a crush on Adam. He's good looking. He's her boss. He's worth millions of dollars.
In the country these days, and I want to ask you guys like how you're processing what's going on right now. But here, top 10 most expensive metro areas for renters. Okay, here are the top 10 most expensive metro areas for renters.
Don't care about this.
You got New York City, you got Miami, Fort Lauderdale, you got Thousand Oaks, Ventura, California, you got San Diego, your people out there. You got Honolulu, Hawaii, you got LA, Long Beach, Anaheim, California, you got Napa Valley, California, you got Naples on the West Coast here in Florida, you got Washington D.C. and the.
There we go. All right.
One of my worst jobs, but I learned so much was I used to spray. I didn't come from this. I didn't come from this. It's years, decades in the making of just every day. Every day.
But there are certain challenges that our generation is facing, and the Gen Z generation, as far as 2008 home crisis, right, where they didn't produce enough real estate. That's why we're in the right now, because there isn't enough. So rent has to go up because the supply is completely depleted. So there are certain things with, and I 100% girl. I grew up in the ghetto, so I understand. I understand where you're coming from, but I also think that there are certain generational issues that they are facing that we potentially don't have to face, and they're having to navigate in these big cities. It is very hard to make.
And she lives in San Diego, which is the most beautiful city in the world to live, as far as I'm concerned, as far as weather's concerned, right?
I would agree with that.
Yeah, and my only point is that the government shouldn't be a factor it shouldn't be a reason why somebody doesn't pursue their dreams. Of course, we sink or swim, we're all entrepreneurs, we pivot. You should go against those obstacles and overcome those challenges. The government should be working for the American people, not the people working for the government.
Or everyone just invest in Bitcoin and let's go.
Here we go. A couple more topics before everyone doing okay. Thank you for the spirited debate right there. By the way, you married, single,
married.
What were you about to say about Andrew Tate?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier.
Here we go.
I want it all.
Okay. Well, did you hear what he said about demanding loyalty from your woman?
Oh,
here's actually an interesting anecdote from our friend Andrew. He said Andrew Tate demands unwavering loyalty from women while their partners are behind bars. Fans ask, would a guy be this loyal to his woman? Do we have a tweet that he put out there?
The guys are different than women.
This one.
Yeah, here it is right here.
Okay, let me zoom out.
Okay, so he basically, see if you can play that.
Oops, sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize.
Here's why you do this. I know she's hot, I know she's funny, I know she makes you laugh. But if you can't sit in that jail cell with 100% certainty that she's not out with her friends, them in her ear, talking shit, and her ending up with some other guy, why are you even buying her dinner? For what? Sex? And loyalty to me is the only thing left that's valuable. If your woman wouldn't wait,
keep playing it.
For you, if you went to jail for 5 years, why are you with her? I know she's hot, I know she's funny, I know she makes you laugh.
So basically saying if you're married, single, married, basically the presumption is if you as a man went to jail for 5 years, would your woman be willing to wait around for you?
Ride or die.
Ride or die. So under what circumstance would you be willing to wait 5 years for your man in jail? You're married. Your man went to jail today.
Well, I think it depends what he goes to jail for. Let's start there. That's a really big one. So let's just.
Okay, look. If your man goes to jail for crimes against children, and I think we know where I'm headed with that, of course you're not going to wait on him. He's a sick fuck who deserves to be in jail. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. Come on. Obviously.
By the way, ladies, full disclosure, I have no plans on going to jail. But if I do, wait for me, girl.
Right, no matter what I did. So I think that's number one. Waiting 5 years, I think 5 years goes by like in a blink of an eye at this point in my life. So it all depends on the situation, and I can't just put a blanket statement.
You're married, though.
Yeah,
Your husband went to jail for 5 years, whatever it is.
No, not whatever it is. Because if it was really something that I just morally didn't agree with.
Yes, like with children. I think Adam would agree with me on that. I just don't think he's thought about it.
Okay. I wouldn't wait.
So it depends on the charge.
Yes.
So if it was like fraud or embezzlement.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Here we go.
I mean, I don't think that's a good one to be. But
that's it. That you're leaving your husband. He's done.
I mean,
that's like the lowest of the totem pole.
I mean,
yes, exactly. Dude, exactly. Like fraud. Like, dude, that's people don't get stupid over fraud.
If it was like a Casey Anthony situation where there's like
a mix-up,
children, then maybe.
I mean, yeah.
Dude, bitches don't stay faithful when their man is out of town for a week. What on earth makes you think they're going to be faithful when you're in jail for 5 years?
I don't know.
You have children with your husband?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And I respect that nuclear very much so.
But you're not willing to wait 5 years?
I know. Again, I think it depends on what it is.
Okay.
If you said embezzlement and fraud, depends on how much, I guess.
Jaywalking. He went to jail for jaywalking.
I'm staying.
Okay. So it's a Maslow's
or maybe not. I'm like,
hierarchy
I'm stupid because you're making it.
Natalie, go ahead. Your man goes to jail for 5 years.
And I'm still 24.
Yes.
No kids.
No kids.
I'm not staying.
That's it. You're gone.
There it is. Okay. Told you. See, there it is. My man goes to jail and I have no kids. I'm not staying. No, of course not. Because she's fucking 24 years old. She's still hot. She's like, no, I can't stay. Like, I got to get to getting. I need to lock down a man here.
Sarah?
totally with you on. It depends on what it is. It tells me everything. I mean, was there a firearm involved? Did someone die?
This is your.
See, they're missing the big ones. They're missing the big ones. They don't care. Look, guys, listen, man. I've never been arrested on a gun-related charge, but dude, I would say 90% of my arrests had to do with physical violence. It was either assault and battery, aggravated assault with a deadly. I mean, and girls never, ever, ever look down on you because of that. They don't. Dude, I've had my criminal record, not on purpose, but it'll just be laying about. Because when you get arrested, you get the slip with all the charges. It looks like a traffic ticket, only they actually arrest you. And in the folder, they have your criminal record, your arrest record, your conviction record, your trial record, what you've been to court for, all over the country, blah 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 blah. Well, the magistrate uses that information to determine what he or she is going to set your bail at. That's how that works. I've had girls come across it and be like, "Wow, you've been arrested a lot." I'm like, "Yeah." They never leave. They never, ever leave. Some, it actually turns on, believe it or not.
Man, you got a family together. You got kids. You got a lifestyle. He's going away for 5 years, and you want to know what the charge is?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the charge is.
I want to be there
He
for the
loves you.
attorney.
You love him. That's it? You're out? You're partying with your friends again?
The only charge that matters is crimes against children. That's the only one that matters.
Well, why would I?
I don't know, guys.
Why would I stay?
Okay.
What's the incentive to stay with someone if you both went into the relationship valuing honesty, loyalty, trust, having a high values together, like morals?
You're supposed to go down on a sinking ship.
I didn't say 50 years, guys. It's okay.
If we believe in the same God, like my
Catalina,
God. Yeah.
You meet this man of your dreams. He's with you. You got a family. You got kids. He goes away for 5 years.
Okay, I
What do you
agree.
do?
It does depend on what he did. The criminal justice system sometimes, I don't know.
Give me.
I don't know,
Okay,
I'm loyal to a fault, man. I'd probably.
Crimes against children. That's the answer.
Again, depends what he did. If I loved him and he was innocent,
Yeah.
and I knew he was a good man, and it wasn't that a problem. Now you go to jail for like, I don't know, having weed in your car. Now,
So give me like, all right, if it was this,
No, you can't.
I'd
I don't
stay.
know.
But if
I
it was
don't
this,
Not in New Jersey.
I'm out. Like you guys keep saying, it depends what he did.
Well, let's really talk about like what the question is what Andrew
Yeah,
Tate did,
right.
And we don't know, obviously. That's yet to be determined by
Fabricated charges, I know that.
But if it
That's
was,
right.
But if it was,
Goddamn right. There you go. Adam Rode said fabricated charges. I do know that. You're goddamn right.
it was child prostitution. That's probably not the best man that you want to be with.
But
With
if they
your
are
kids,
fabricated
yeah.
charges, let's say, a woman should be loyal to her man and should believe in their innocence first. That's you're supposed to be your best friend, the person your ride or die. And if you don't have the
No. Your man is not supposed to be your best friend. Your man is supposed to be your protector, your lover, your investor, not your friend.
support and the
Yeah, King Trust Issue says hybristophilia is real. Not all women are hybristophiles, but only women are hybristophiles. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Absolutely. 100%. Hybristophilia is a woman's attraction to violent criminals. That's what it is. Edward Cross says, I work in New Jersey. Gun laws suck. Dude, oh my God, don't I know it. But marijuana is legal here, so.
loyalty from the number one person who you should have support and loyalty from, that's a problem.
Well, let me ask you this. Did he let you know what he was doing in order to go to jail? Were you somewhat aware, or was it, did you get the option to say, okay, I'm on board, sure, we're going to go down? All right.
I'm just gauging your lovely lady's loyalty out here. Tyler, how's it work in your world?
Yeah.
If your wife was here,
If my
if
wife-
she was on this panel right now, I'm like, yo, what's your wife's name?
Erica.
Erica. You're gorgeous. You're lovely. You met in Hawaii. You met Tyler out there. Your brother, he hooked you up. It's all good. Shout out to the brother. You got 2 kids with Tyler. Tyler did some embezzlement stuff. All right. It was an issue. It was an Enron situation. It was a CPA. He's
Oh,
going to jail for
wow.
5 years. What would Erica do?
Number one, if it was an Enron situation, he would be going to jail for a lot longer than 5 years.
Well, for us, marriage is forever. So, and if I was going to say, if my wife ended up in jail for 5 years, it was definitely false charges. So somebody's got to make sure that the family runs and marriage is forever. So we'd be doing some conjugal visits and seeing each other in 5 years. You know?
Right?
I want a husband like that.
This is what I'm saying, ladies.
good.
You want this. Now, he works hard. He makes money. He's not always there. Puts the phone down for 5 minutes at a time. 5-day vacations. He's making that money.
Yep.
I'm just saying, marriage is forever.
Priorities.
That's right.
You got the priorities. All right, well, we got to bust Erica out of jail, bro. We got to get her out. Anyway, but listen, it's sort of like a ridiculous question if your husband goes to jail for 5 years. But I guess the reason I bring this up is we're so quick to, like, get out of a situation. Oh, no, 5 years is kind of like a time period where it's like 1 or 2 years. Like, yeah, of course.
No, 5 years is a long time. 5 years is a long time. If I go to jail, see, here's the thing. If I go to jail for 5 years, I don't think I would expect Devin to wait for me. I wouldn't expect her to, right? Like, dude, she's 46 years old, man. She doesn't have 5 years to wait on me to get out. Shit, by the time I get out, she's what, 51, 52?
Wait, 10, 20 years, it's like, yeah, peace out, homie. But 5 years is like that weird number where it's like, what did he do? What are the charges? How long do we have kids together? But I feel like every man wants a girl who's loyal, you know, like you said, ride or die.
Merch.
I feel like that's really what a guy wants, right? Where don't you as a woman want the same thing from your man? Loyalty?
Dude, listen, man. The typical modern woman, dude, if you go to jail, y'all, listen, man. Check this out, man. If you go to jail for a fucking month, your girl is going to cheat on you. That's just how it is. There's just too many. Dude, I mean, again, thanks to the smartphone, women can now cheat and get away with it. Every woman would cheat. Every woman would cheat, including my own, if she knew she could get away with it. That's just how it is. Devin would dude, if Devin could sleep with anybody she wanted to, and she knew that I wouldn't find out about it, of course she would do it. Of course she would do it. And understanding female nature the way I do, I make sure that I let her know from the start that I don't commit to women who regularly put their relationships at risk by going to bars, clubs, traveling alone, etc., etc. You guys know the rules. Social media, etc.
100%.
Okay.
That's number one, honestly.
So if I go to jail for 5 years, I need to know you ladies are going to be sticking around. Shit.
Nah.
All right. Anyway, final thoughts on that?
Don't commit crimes that you
Okay.
I'm not getting married at 24. That's my fault.
You're not getting married at 24. What age would you like to get married?
I only got 6 months left. If that's the case, and I hope that's not going to happen.
What age would you like to get married?
You know what's funny is when I was 18 and I was young and stupid and delusional and naive, I used to think I wanted to get married at 25 and have kids by 27.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm 24,
boy.
the thought of that makes me want to like throw up.
Okay.
Oh, boy. There we go. There it is. There it is. And there's Sarah Dawn Moore, the relationship expert, right next to her, yucking it up.
And just because I'm still learning.
Look at this. This is insane. This woman, dude, this chick is fucking gorgeous. Like, I don't know what her body looks like, but I give her at least an 8 out of 10 on attractiveness level. She just sat there and said, when I was young and dumb and naive, I wanted to get married by 25, have kids by 22nd, but now it makes me sick to my stomach. Why does that make you sick to your stomach? Not only that, Sarah Dawn Moore, relationship expert, sat there and indirectly co-signed it by laughing at her. Watch.
And I was young and stupid and delusional and naive. I used to think I wanted to get married at 25 and have kids by 27.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm 24, the thought of that makes me want to like throw up.
Okay.
And just because I'm still learning so much about myself and who I want to be and develop into as a person and what I want to attract in a partner, not just a relationship, but a partner, to your point earlier, I don't want that right now. I'm not ready for that right now. So to answer your question, what age? 30, probably.
Okay, there you go. There it is. This girl is young and beautiful. 24 years old. She is in her peak sexual prime. She's in peak sexual prime. And she just sat here and told us. She just sat here and told us that she is going to wait until her attractiveness starts to decline. Then she'll think about maybe getting married. Another waste. She's another waste of an attractive woman. Attractive porn stars are wastes. Dude, Nina the Pineapple is a waste. Dude, Nina could be married to a freaking billionaire. That girl is fucking gorgeous. She's fucking gorgeous, has an unbelievable ass. She's in fantastic shape. Tight little body. She's a little spinner. Long, beautiful dark hair. She's on OnlyFans. 28 years old. She turns 29 this year. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, learning about myself. Yeah, there it is. Robert Young says, learning about myself equals the cock carousel. Unbelievable.
Not later.
You have that clip of that 35-year-old? So, all right, so when you were 18, you thought that 25 would be the number. Now that you're 25, I think that 30 is the number.
Yeah.
You said you're 37?
38.
38? You look like you're 37, though. So, what age would you like to get married?
It doesn't matter. It's
Yeah, right now is the answer.
marriage is not the end goal for me. It's about having a healthy relationship.
You want to have kids?
Here we go.
That's not.
No.
That doesn't matter.
No. No. See, here it is. See, now everything. See, again, now she's making her necessity a virtue. She knows she can't get married. That's why that's not the end goal. She knows she can't have kids. That's why I want a partnership. Right? This woman just sat, dude, Sarah just sat here next to dude, this girl is fucking gorgeous. And just sat here and said, I want to wait till 30 to get married. And Sarah did not interject. Yeah, I saw the sneak diss by Adam. That, whatever. I don't care about that. But if she were a relationship coach, then she would tell this girl, well, listen, You're 24 and beautiful now. You ain't got much time. Unbelievable, man. Unfucking believable.
She was pregnant at 44, 42?
Yeah, how much money should you pay for that? What age do you want to get married? Have kids?
See, here
I
she
have football
goes.
teams. My biological clock is
She is ticking. You're 29?
I'm 30. I would rather wait for the right person and be madly in love and have a great relationship than just get married just for the age aspect. But obviously women are on a biological clock, which is tough. Well, 44 according to Kardashian. She's already had like 3 kids before that though, right?
That's true.
Yeah, but she was like with Scott Disick at the time, which was late 20s, early 30s.
But then they had in vitro.
You're talking about Kourtney Kardashian. You're talking about a woman who has the money. Guys, every in vitro fertilization try is between $20,000 and $40,000. Sugar tits, you ain't got that kind of money right now. And likely never will.
Oh, and it's just like, I'd like, the process to be, you don't know. You want to find the right person instead of just aiming for a number.
You have this clip of this 35-year-old girl?
Which one?
No?
No.
Okay, it was the last clip.
Of course, Natalia doesn't have the clip of the 35-year-old woman who is warning girls to get married before 35. Of course not. Of course not. Do you see how Nat is hurting the show? See, this is Nat hurting the show right here. This is Nat hurting the show. Nat's the producer. She is responsible for the way the show goes. She's responsible for the way the show goes. You just had an attractive young woman say, I don't want to get married till I'm 30. Start having kids at 32. Relationship expert Sarah Dawn Moore sits there and laughs at it because, of course, women can't be confrontational with one another. Adam says, all right, well, I've got a rebuttal to that. What does Natalia say? Nope, I don't have it. Sorry, don't have it. Adam's got to get rid of Nat, dude. She is really hurting the quality of the show.
She's already had like 3 kids before that though, right?
That's true.
Yeah, but she was like with Scott Disick at the time, which was late 20s, early 30s.
But then they had in vitro, and it's just like, I'd like, the process to be, you don't know. You want to find the right person instead of just aiming for a number.
You have this clip of this 35-year-old girl?
Which one?
Which one? Yeah, she's playing dumb. She knows what it is.
No?
No.
Okay, it was the last clip. Behind the mind of a 35-year-old single woman?
Let me pull it up. I don't see it.
I can't hear you.
Let me check because I don't see it in
Okay,
the slot.
then don't worry about it. We'll
Yeah,
move on.
let's. Oh boy.
Okay. I actually found this thing interesting. Go ahead, pull this up.
Okay, good.
I need a husband. What? I need a husband and.
Turn up the volume.
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm not really husband material.
You're really fine.
No, like I don't cook.
I cook.
I don't clean.
I clean just fine.
I play video games all day.
Fine.
I'm talking Fortnite, Overwatch, League of Legends.
I don't care. I need a husband. Okay?
I got 3 kids, and I hold the IRS money.
It's okay. We'll make it work.
There you go.
We'll come in.
Hey, how you doing? So,
see, that shit's real. That shit's real. She's after 35. He's like, hey, man, I'm lazy and I got a job. I play video games. I don't care. I need a husband.
You said that you want to be married by 30.
Not by 30.
Yeah.
But right now at 24, if I were to look at my future, around 30 would be more ideal than right now at 24.
Here we go. Now she's already backtracking. Already backpedaling faster than Deion Sanders.
But do you think that also comes from maybe not feeling or not having a specific relationship in your life? Like, do you think if you would have had a man who has stuck by you from 22 to 20 to now and has done everything that you really want?
Don't give a shit.
No, yeah, no, I'm just asking just because that does also.
Don't care. Don't
and
care.
You want to build with someone, date for a long time before you enter into marriage. I think that entering into a marriage just to get married, especially women feeling that pressure just to have kids, I see that turn into a disaster. And I coach clients.
Just to have kids. Are you serious? This woman is a relationship coach, and she just said young women pressured to have kids. Oh my God.
What is it that you want to build with someone, date for a long time before you enter into marriage? I think that entering into a marriage just to get married, especially women feeling that pressure just to have kids, I see that turn into a disaster.
This is insane. You've seen that turn into a disaster. What, you mean like a woman trying to baby trap somebody? Yeah, that's a disaster. But the fact that this woman, 38 years old and unmarried, talking about that women are pressured to have kids being a bad thing, this is why she's single, guys. This is why she's single. She is a terrible relationship coach, just like I thought she was. I've never seen this before. This woman is a relationship coach talking about women pressured to have children. And I've seen some pretty bad situations. What? Ay. Unbelievable. Justin Consciousness says, what the fuck can you build in a relationship that's better than a family? That's a good question. Ay. Kevin Takata says, misery loves company. Dude, I swear to God. Kevin, you're absolutely right. And here's the thing. right? One thing that I just do not understand and that girls need to figure out is that older women are not giving you good advice, y'all. They're not. Older women often try to purposely lead women astray. Older men, we don't do that. We don't do that. If there's a young kid who reaches out to us for a little bit of, we're trying to put him up on game. We're trying to tell him how to be successful. Nope. Not Sarah Dawn Moore. I've seen the dark side of women being pressured to have kids and have a family. As opposed to sport fucking your way through your 20s and being a 38-year-old dating coach who's never been married and doesn't have any kids. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And this woman is a relationship coach who just indirectly co-signed a beautiful 24-year-old woman saying that she wants to get married around 30. Unbelievable. Unreal. Totally not. Pablo says, if there was a time I support deplatforming, I do now. Nope. No, don't deplatform these people. We need these people. We need Sarah Dawn Moore. We need women to show us exactly why we shouldn't listen to women as far as dating is concerned. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Dude, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
And I
Are most your clients men or women?
Both, and some.
What's the percentage break?
No. He said, are most of your clients men or women? She said both. So here she goes.
80% men and 20%
Mostly
women.
men.
There you go. All right then. See that?
Yep.
Okay. What's the most common problem that the men are having?
They're in sexless marriages. Their
Sexless marriage.
wife hates them.
Yep.
They are struggling to find women that they want to date. They're struggling to find women that understand men. But the biggest thing is that they're just in really unhappy situations and they don't know how to get out of it or how to make it better.
Gotcha. And the women, the 20% that are women, what are their biggest problems?
Really wanting to be in a relationship, trying to understand men, trying to.
They're not married.
They're not married.
So.
Unbelievable. Of course they're not married. Women don't need dating advice. Women need relationship advice.
If I can encapsulate what you're saying, the 80% of men are married and they're in sexless marriages and they're just miserable. And the 20% of women are not married and they're looking to find a man.
Wow. Yep. They look to me because I have a greater understanding of men than they do, and they're trying to.
They look to me because I have a greater understanding of men. Ms. Moore, there is precious little evidence of such. Again, this goes back to a fundamental principle. If you're going to call yourself an expert or a coach, then it would behoove you to practice what you preach. I talk about relationships. I'm in a relationship. That's why you guys listen to me. You guys see that my woman is attractive. You see that she's fit, feminine, friendly, faithful. But this woman has the gall to sit here and say, women look to me for advice because I have a greater understanding of men. Sarah, sleeping with men into the triple figures, into the triple digits, does not make you a relationship expert. Makes you a dick expert. Listen, you know how to get dick, but guess what? Girls don't need coaches to tell them how to get dick. They need coaches to tell them how to keep it. But you have a better understanding of men. How do we know? Secondhand Truth says, men see themselves in younger men. Women see themselves as younger women. Wow. Wow. Wow.
To understand. Yeah. How do I?
So what's your solution for the men?
My solution to the men?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them struggle with understanding women from an emotional standpoint. They got married young, they didn't value the same things, and now they're kind of both at this precipice where they've had children, or they're kind of stuck raising the kids and they don't know what to do. So you have two other options. You can divorce and be happy and go your separate ways and find someone that you do value and you guys value the same things.
Unbelievable. So her first
change considerably, or
her first solution is to get divorced. But she's a relationship coach. Get divorced and find someone that more aligns with you at 37 years old with 3 kids.
Or you get into therapy and you understand why you're paying so much.
This relationship expert, her advice for a man who is in a sexless marriage is to either get a divorce or seek therapy. Why would anyone need to pay you to tell them that? They know what their options are, Sarah. They're not looking for options, Sarah. They're looking for solutions. Getting a divorce is not a solution. Going to therapy is not a solution. That doesn't help the situation. Oh my God. This is worse than I thought. This is worse than I thought. Oh my God. Dude, you've got to... Oh my God. Wow. Get a divorce or seek therapy. And men pay her to tell them this stuff?
Why she's so pissed off at you that she doesn't want to have sex with you. And it goes way back to really attachment and bonding and how they can talk to each other. I'm sure you and your wife have gone through some potential, maybe some dry spells, I don't know, at all?
Yeah, I mean, you go ebbs and flows and, throughout 10
Yeah, but that's not what she's talking about. You're talking about men. She's talking about men. She's not talking about the ebbs and flows, the normal ebbs and flows of a relationship. She's talking about men in miserable, sexless marriages. This guy is not in a miserable, sexless marriage. So she's using this guy as an example. He is not this guy is not the avatar for her clients. She's acting like this guy is no, this guy is a top 1%er. Fuck out of here.
11 years of marriage, and the times when you're least connected is when that doesn't happen.
Yeah, so I think people have a choice. Like, they can either decide that we're in this, we're going forward, like we're doing this, or it's time to split up.
Oh my God, dude. It's time to move forward or it's time to split up. Bitch, do you know that 70 to 80% of divorces filed in America are by the women? Most men want to stay with their wives and girlfriends. Most men want to do this. They want to continue on with their relationship. That's why most women file for divorce. So even if he decides that he wants to move forward, most of the time she's not. Bad advice. Roadblock 85 with the $5 super chat says she is a habitual fence sitter. She's trying to sober men and not alienate the sisterhood. You're right. You are right. You are right about that. Roadblock 85 with another $5 super chat says pander to men. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay.
And not always splitting up is always, sometimes splitting up is, I've done it, and it's very traumatic. It's very traumatic, and it doesn't always necessarily mean it was the best thing. It's just what you did at that time, right? And sometimes staying and you think, oh, I can't stand this person, I can't even look at them, and you can go for that years, and then you figure out a way to make it work. And it's just, like you said, a choice. And I'm only speaking from my experience of, actually having all of these experiences that we're talking about and living them, walking them, that, you have to look at a hard look at yourself. It's not even about your partner. Yeah. It's about yourself and where you're at and what.
There you go. And the truth comes out. It's not even about your partner. It's about yourself. There it is. It's all about them. What about your kids? What about your children? She said it's not about your partner. It's all about you. It's not about your partner. It's all about you. And all of the women, look, watch their responses like, yeah, all about me, girl. Watch.
And I can't even look at them, and you can go for that years, and then you figure out a way to make it work. And it's just, like you said, a choice. And I'm only speaking from my experience of, actually having all of these experiences that we're talking about and living them, walking them, that, you have to look at a hard look at yourself. It's not even about your partner. Yeah. It's about yourself and where you're at and what you're looking to do and what people don't really change, but where you're willing to use the word pivot or adjust and grow back to your trauma. So it's half of the time, because half of the time the people who do get divorced, you know what? They just repeat the same mistakes that they did the first time. Yeah. And they might stay a little bit longer. Maybe she's a little bit younger. But guess what? She's going to want the same things your first wife wanted. Yep. It just repeats itself.
Do you think sometimes...
Wait, she's going to want the same things your first wife wanted. So now she's talking about men who divorced their wives.
Times too, in your experience, is that people are sometimes, I don't want to say with each other for the wrong reasons, but it's playing out a pattern, or it's just playing out almost like a fear thing. Because I just think that I just see a lot of couples, even my age, our age, are divorcing now. And I know we don't have the research on, as long as baby boomers, but I do see a lot of people getting divorced after 1 or 2 years of marriage. And I wonder if it's just because people don't either know themselves and they don't have the same amount of depth.
The reason why people are getting divorced after a year is because it's easy. Guys, no-fault divorce opened up the floodgates. No-fault divorce opened up the floodgates. Irreconcilable differences. That's the excuse du jour. That's why. The reason why divorce rates have gone up is because it's too easy to get divorced. It's easy to get married, difficult as hell to get divorced.
In a relationship that there might have been, 50, 40 years from now. But like, look, and I would love to have the perspective of the married people here, but I truly believe that you can find it all in somebody, that there is a soulmate, the emotional, intellectual, physical,
soulmate. Oh boy.
That kind of that better half. And I wonder if sometimes people are just kind of settling along the way, or because they don't know themselves, or they don't feel that they are worth finding or having it all. And that's why those guys, when we get in those relationships, at 80%, like, why are they so miserable? It's like, well, if you had it all and you found, nobody's perfect, but if you found who you wanted to be with, like, would they be that unhappy?
People typically recreate the trauma that they saw in their early childhood with their parents. They just repeat the same patterns. So they're living a life unexamined. They're getting into a relationship. And as you alluded to,
It's all just bitch babble. She read that in a book somewhere, and she thinks that makes sense.
you are a much different person. I can tell you 100%. I am not even the same person I was at 25 versus 38. I mean, you go through these experiences, and you have to learn sometimes. Okay, I don't want that in a relationship. That when I was 22, I learned that. When I was 24, I learned that in that relationship.
Oh my
so
God.
To get married young and not really having a great understanding of what is it that you're going to look like at 35, and if two people.
Unbelievable. 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 This woman is sitting here endorsing women putting off marriage because they don't have the experience. They don't know what they want. Here's the gag. The more men women have sex with, the more confused they get about what they want. Guys, this is insanity. This is insane. This is the reason why so many girls are hoes. Girls are hoes because of women like Sarah. Ladies, get married as young as possible when your value is at its peak. Sport fucking your way through your 20s is not finding yourself. It's not self-discovery. It's not finding your preferences. Oh my God, this is dude, oh my God. Look, man, I knew she was going to be bad. I didn't know she was going to be that bad. Like, she is leading women astray. Holy moly.
Aren't growing together, like, with intention and saying, this is the life that, like, I can already tell you have an amazing marriage because you had those conversations really early on. Yeah. But a lot of people aren't.
It's not conversations, bitch. It ain't the conversations. You see, here she goes again. She is assuming that women are going to be honest about what they want. She is assuming that women are going to be honest about who they are. Newsflash. Women are never honest about who they really are. They're just not. They're not. The conversations he had with his woman at the beginning of their relationship has nothing to do with okay, maybe fundamentally they agree on some things, right? We want to have this many kids. We're going to raise them like this. Okay, those are the conversations I'm talking about. But as far as preferences and the way the relationship is going to be run, there's no conversation that needs to happen. The man is the leader. The woman is the cheerleader. That's how it works. She says, I can look at you and tell you had those conversations. How the fuck do you know? Man, this is insane. This is insane. This is insane, man. And all these bitches are all sitting around nodding their heads. And this chick was the same bitch who disagreed with Myron when he said that women killed chivalry. How are you going to argue that women killed chivalry when you are sitting here endorsing women to sleep around in their 20s to figure out what they want and get it out of their system and get married at 30 when their value is on the decline rather than on the rise? Guys, this is why you should never take relationship advice from a woman. Ever. Hang on. Oh, shit. My spin class got canceled. That fucking blows. Damn. All right, that sucks. That really sucks. All right.
Taught how to have those conversations, or they're not having them, or the chemicals in the 18 months and things are just hot and heavy, and then that's what happens. That's why people
or you just assume we're on the same page until you're not on the same page.
Yeah, or just there's no depth. Tough conversations, and people are afraid to be. People are.
It's all bitch babble.
Women are facing their fertility issues, right? Like, I have to get married, and so a lot of
fertility issues. I have to get. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. There she goes again.
Women will marry the wrong guy because there is that biological clock.
Here we go.
You guys don't.
They will marry the wrong guy because there is a biological clock.
Have that pressure to deal with. So I encourage women. If you want kids, freeze your eggs. Like, make that an option.
What in the actual fuck? This woman just, and sitting right next to her, sitting right next to her, this chick could have been somebody's wife. This chick could have been somebody's wife. But this girl is sitting next to a woman who she believes is an expert. And she literally just told her, freeze your eggs.
Have that pressure to deal with. So I encourage women, if you want kids, freeze your eggs. Like,
look at how intently this girl is watching her.
Their fertility issues, right? Like, I have to get married, and so a lot of women will marry the wrong guy because there is that biological clock, and unfortunately, you guys don't have that pressure to deal with. So I encourage women, if you want kids, freeze your eggs.
Look at how intently she is watching this girl. This is, oh my God, dude, I cannot believe what I am seeing. This woman is a relationship coach. Oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. This is, oh my God. This bitch really just said, freeze your eggs.
Like, make that an option.
What, you're advising women to freeze their eggs?
100%. If they want kids and they're 35 and they have not found that man yet, freeze your eggs.
Have you done that?
No, because I don't want kids.
You don't want kids?
No. You can't have kids because 38-year-old eggs are scrambled eggs, powdered eggs.
No.
Why not?
Just never really wanted them. Yeah.
Not your thing?
Not my thing. No.
Gotcha. But you're advising women to freeze the eggs?
Not my thing. Not my thing. Translation. I want to have kids because I'm a woman, but I know I can't. And I know that men of value don't want to have kids with a 38-year-old.
I think so. I think, yeah, if that's
what percentage of the women that are that you're dealing with want to have kids?
Oh my God. All of them.
I'd say maybe 60%.
The other 40%? Nothing?
They would much rather have a partner, and especially the women that follow me all the time, they tell me, I'd much rather find a partner than be in a relationship and miserable, married with a child. Because guess what happens then, Adam? I become a single mother.
Oh.
And no woman wants to sign up willingly to be a single mother. So we have different, consequences to being a woman.
There's some women out there that are looking to make a football team. Wish them luck.
Good, because I can offer you childcare and a lot of stuff.
Hey, there we go.
Real quick, thanks for everything today. I'm feeling a lot better right now somehow, so this is great. Nat, before we go to the happy ending, is there any super chats you want to read?
Yes.
No, how about not? Oh wow, guys, gentlemen, what we just witnessed? What we just witnessed is one of the many, many reasons why modern women are fucking miserable. People come at us all the time talking about how dangerous our message is, how we're leading young men astray, and all the rest of that. But now we have women out here calling themselves relationship coaches, advising women to freeze their eggs. Ugh. Look, me personally, I've got nothing against Sarah Dawn Moore. I really don't. I don't think she's a bad person. She seems affable, I'm sure she'd be, I don't know, I think she'd be okay. But dude, this is insanity. This woman is more dangerous. This woman is far more dangerous than Andrew Tate will ever be. I just can't, I cannot believe what I'm seeing. I really, really don't. Wow, dude. Oh my God. King Life with the $5 super chat says the success of in vitro fertilization is about 50% in women below the age of 35. As the age increases, the chances of success go down. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the Level Up man says she seems genuine, but she's just plain wrong. Yeah. Like, she really believes what she's talking about. She really, really, really does. Unbelievable. Unreal. I cannot believe this woman just advised women, she said with a straight face, freeze your eggs, with a beautiful, exquisite 24-year-old sitting right next to her. She didn't check she didn't check her when she said, I didn't want to wait till 30. What? Huh? You want to know what Myron would have told her? Myron would have asked her, okay, do you think your value is going to be higher or lower than it is now at 30 years old? He would take her down that rabbit hole. Myron's a better dating coach than this bitch ever will be. Dude, I cannot believe it. And she wants us to think that she's an advocate for men. No, she's not. No, she's not. Ay. Well, my spin class was canceled, which fucking blows. I guess they didn't have enough. I don't know why they canceled it. Maybe it's the day after the holiday. Who knows? But I'll be more than happy to get back on the bike tomorrow for sure. So. Great show today, guys. Fantastic show. I'm definitely gonna start reacting more to these female dating coaches. I think we need to, for lack of a better term, expose them for who they really are. We really, 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 really do. We really, 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 really do. So, I've already had a dating show breakdown, Roadblock 85, that was actually a little earlier. And don't worry, guys. Once my workout schedule stabilizes as far as spinning and lifting weights, the times, the start times are going to be much more consistent. I assure you that. That is going to do it for this, the 986th edition of TSR Live. Thank you to all of my super chatters, my members, and my Sharpe Stream members. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.